My coworker didn't realize he'd answered my call and started dissing me to another coworker.
Ah, embarrassing.
I, 28 female, have a coworker, Darren, 32 male, who I thought I had a good working relationship with, but I guess not. By the way, this comes from Velma but Goth, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. It's only 8:30 in the morning.
We don't.
We don't have any answers, but you might, so put them in the comments. And OP says, he is the field supervisor, not my supervisor. And I work in the office of a small cleaning company. We must work closely together via call, text, and meeting because of him being the super and me being the main dispatcher. I use my personal cell and always have, as do many people at this company. It's on the owner's direction to. For work communications, and the other phone I have is the main office landline. I had asked him about something work-related around 11 a.m., and when he had not said anything by 1 p.m., I called him. I heard him struggling to get his phone to connect to his truck's Bluetooth. He clearly did not hear me saying, "Hello, Darren, can you hear me?" And then I clearly hear him say to our young new hire he had in his truck, "She's always effing doing this. Just call me off the damn work phone. She's so bad at this. Effing always calling me, for F's sakes. So annoying." Whoa. Crazy. Also, I don't know, like, crazy to not check.
Yeah, I don't know.
All
you
of
don't
that.
know how to connect your phone to the
Yeah.
Bluetooth in your car. I immediately have a mental image of you.
Yeah, I can see it. And you know what is annoying? You. I was crestfallen, hung up, waited a few minutes, and then called him back. He picked up with his usual nicey nice tone, and I kept it fairly professional and got the information I originally needed. I then said, "You knew I could hear you, right?" And he said, "Huh?" I explained to him firmly but politely that as per company rules, I called him off my cell phone to keep the customer line landline free, and that if he has an issue with that, to please schedule an appointment time for a meeting with me as per my office hours. I also said I would love to loop in the general manager for that meeting, so I'll be sure to get it on the books ASAP. He kind of stuttered out something about how he isn't sure what I was talking about, and how my phone is hard to hear. This has never been mentioned before. I brought this to the GM, and she was appalled by his lack of professionalism, too. I have to have a sit-down with her and HR next time HR is at open office time. I don't want him to get in trouble, but if he has been talking smack about me to the other techs, it explains why everyone's seemingly been colder to me in the last 6 months, especially new hires. I really love my job, and I try my best to be sweet and helpful and on the ball, so it really feels like a gut smack. So it really feels like a gut smack to hear how the supervisors really feels. Let's say that. I really love my job, and I try my best to be sweet and helpful and on the ball, so it really feels awful to hear how the supervisor really feels. Advice, please. And there are some comments. But do you have any advice of your own?
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is probably what's best.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have. I don't know. I just would have.
Would you have just kind of confronted him and left it at that?
I guess. Yeah. Because I don't know. Politics in a job is weird, and then if he says that, and then you heard it and take him to HR for it, next time he says it again, it's gonna have an even more.
Yeah.
He's gonna have more of a point. He's gonna be like, "Yeah, no, she freaking spied on me in my car and then sent me to HR."
She used spyware in my car. I don't know how she did it.
Yeah.
She plugged into my vehicle.
So this might have the opposite intended effect you want it to have, of like people being less cold to you. They might just
be more.
They might be even less inclined to open up to you because they're like, well, if I say the wrong thing, I go to HR.
Comment 1 says he's an a-hole. Sorry. I know that's right.
And I agree. He is an a-hole.
Comment 1, he's an a-hole who is reaping the rewards of his bad behavior. Do not allow yourself to feel bad about reporting him for 1 second. He was so rude that there's no way that that would not impair your working relationship, and a manager's involvement is needed. You were right to report it and ask for support, and you responded to him professionally as well. Comment 2 says, sounds like work needs to get everyone phones that actually work. I'd make a stink in general. This guy is out in the field crap talking to you, and you have no way of defending yourself. This creates a negative, hostile environment when you were just doing as you were instructed. Also, what an a-hole. This speaks to what a sad, crappy supervisor he is. OP says, honestly, it's not just about phones. It's about respect. He showed you none, and it's fair to expect accountability for that. And I don't think that was OP. I think that was another commenter. Comment 3 says, shouldn't be using your personal phones for work purposes. This person didn't read the post. The company should provide cell phones or more phone lines. But other than that, you handled that amazingly, and way to make sure the new hire also got the memo on the phone policy and how to properly follow up with the office. And there is an update. But yeah, we know why OP is supposed to use cell phones. So.
It's the company policy.
It's a company policy. But there is an update. So let's get into that.
Yeah, I just hope this doesn't backfire. I mean, because you were
Yeah.
you were in the right, but it might
it's
end
the
up.
snitches get stitches rule, man. Even when you're in the right. I spoke with the GM who took it to the HR lady. They did not consult me at all, nor did they provide an update to me after the meeting. I had to ask my GM this morning to please provide me with an update. She told me that the HR lady wants to talk to Darren, but since she only works once a week, this won't be resolved or addressed for at least another week, maybe 2. For now, they have asked me to cease cell-based communications with the supervisor, which is very hard because the main work phone is not only the direct customer line, so it is typically busy, but it is very antiquated. Being able to call and text the supervisor is pretty integral to my job. I feel as though I'm being punished for being belittled and mocked by Darren. When my GM told me this, I told her that I would wait, but that I think this is a ridiculous situation and it impedes my ability to do my job. And there is another update.
Yeah, weird of them to just be like, oh, well, then just don't call the person you need to call and talk to do your job.
The whole point was that you needed to call him to get information. And then he got mad that you called him to get information. And now they're not letting you do that at all? Weird. Update 2. HR lady and the GM sat Darren down today for his annual review. They tagged my official complaint. I followed everyone's advice and submitted a formal account onto the tail end of his review. I had my annual review beforehand, and they told me that they would be addressing this with him during his meeting later on. I knew it would go nowhere and mean nothing when HR lady literally scoffed and said, well, what he said wasn't really rude. You just got upset. Yeah. By the way, I would be upset if you didn't listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to the story, but that's the issue, I think.
HR lady doesn't like you either.
Yeah. I think the problem is sometimes, not that you shouldn't report it and stuff, or that you did anything wrong, but I think sometimes HR can just be kind of useless. And then you've reported this instance, and then they don't do anything, and then everyone just likes you less. Which is not your fault, but does suck.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say it is a little your fault because you're the one who did loop HR and everyone into the meeting and then wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, but with the expectation that they would do something, but they never seem to do anything.
Yeah, I think it might have been better resolved one-on-one. Being like, hey, I feel like maybe the way that you talked about me in front of that new hire might kind of inform me to the way you talk about me in front of everybody. And I have noticed a shift in the way people have been treating me in the last, 6 months. So if we have an issue, let's talk it out and stop having one.
Yeah.
Because the way you reacted when I called you and I could hear you, it was pretty bad. It sounded pretty bad.
Sure did.
And yeah, because a lot of times HR can be useless. and then it just makes things awkward because it feels like you told the principal, on somebody.
Yeah. But there is a little bit left to the story. They touched base with me after the fact and said that I had misunderstood or misheard Darren, and that he would try to be more mindful of how his words can be misinterpreted going forward.
HR, dude.
That's crazy. So
No, she misunderstood. Like,
when he
she
said you were
wasn't.
effing annoying, he meant like, oh, it's so effing annoying how much I love OP.
Yeah. It's so effing annoying how, like, I want to hang out with them so bad all the time and do fun things like go-karting.
So a crappy end to a crappy situation. I'll take it as it is, me getting to hold the short end of Darren's crapstick, and I'll move on. It's just nice to know how this company operates, or if I ever feel like crisping up my resume in the future, should Darren or anyone else keep line dancing on my toes for no good reason. Yeah, I mean, good point. If they don't take care of their employees, then maybe it's not the place to work. But that is the end of that story, and we've got another one coming right up.
My coworkers kept stealing, and HR pretended I was imagining it.
I didn't see it happen.
A girl and the girlfriend of her brother got hired at the hotel that I worked at a couple of months ago. It has been months of nightmares having to babysit these two grown adults. They don't know how to do anything. Clean, listen to simple instructions, etc. And by the way, this comes from user BusinessMeat9191. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
And we are here to give you good advice, goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We are just a couple meatballs.
In a little meatball stack.
So we only know what we would do as meatballs. Let us know what you would do as whatever you are down in the comments.
We don't want to assume.
Yeah. Mostly we would. What is it that a meatball does?
Roll
around. Have you tried rolling around? OP says, weeks of training went into these two girls, and they still cannot clean a room right to this day. They would leave unfinished rooms and run and leave before anyone else could stop them, so the housekeepers left behind had to fix the mistakes. They leave and go sit in their car on break for 45 minutes, and when they were the last with stuff to do, they would complain and ask people if they could help them finish. When people said no, they would talk bad about them. Laundry helpers make bed rolls of all the things you need to make a clean hotel bed, like pillowcases and fitted sheets, etc. So there are giant piles of these bed rolls for queen and king beds. They got caught unrolling the bedrolls, taking random pieces, and then re-rolling them and putting them back for someone to pick up, and not realize they just have to go back later to get missing pillowcases.
Wait,
that's weird.
Are they stealing the stuff?
Are they stealing pillowcases?
Yeah, or
They're
are
like,
they just like, oh, I'm missing something, I gotta go grab it?
Saying this would make a great Christmas gift. I got
Everyone loves getting pillowcases.
I got you a hotel pillowcase.
How did you know this is all you wanted?
Well, I heard you last time you were staying at the La Quinta.
I said, I don't have a hotel pillowcase. These are so nice.
That's how anyone who loves hotel pillowcases would talk.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe you. Oh my God, you got me more hotel pillowcases. I can't believe you got me more hotel pillowcases. You know I love hotel pillowcases.
How'd you know I love hotel pillowcases?
I don't know. It's just something about you. I could go on for 5 pages about annoying things these girls have done. Why they weren't fired is another annoying tale I could go on about for 5 pages. Fast forward to about 2 weeks ago, everyone is pretty tired of them. I'm on the 5th floor of the hotel, and I've just got done stacking the cart up there with all the cleaning supplies, towels, bedrolls, mats, etc. that I've brought up from the 1st floor for the day. I go a floor down to the storage room for some toilet paper, and I come back to my cart to find these girls taking all the cleaning supplies I've brought up, taking extra towels for their cart. They basically didn't want to go all the way back downstairs and get their own stuff. I'm like, are you actually serious right now? and I kind of chew them out, basically saying the lazy way isn't the best way to do things, and they can go back downstairs and lug up everything they need for the day like everyone else. They leave, and I think this is the end of it. My sister works on and off with me at the same place, and this day she was working the same day as me. These girls decided to go to the floor she's on and laugh in her face and call her a witch and ask her what she was going to do about it when she's like, what the F? This is all because I chewed them out for being lazy, and they just decided to go to my sister for some reason. She tells me about it, and I finally become unglued and drag the head housekeeper into everything because I'm tired of them. Long rant short, I basically tell them if I ever hear them speak to anyone like that again, we'd have a huge issue. I basically said I would quit right there. I'm lucky that the head housekeeper is such a pushover because I would have been pretty unlucky if she decided she suddenly wanted to deal with the situation. They hem and haw, claim my sister was lying, and they never said anything like that. You can see them on camera talking to her, but no audio. So this is why the head housekeeper claims she's not going to bring anything to the manager because it really is a she said kind of situation, and to just leave each other alone and do our work. Fast forward another week of absolute BS from these two girls. Glaring at me, whispering about me as I walk by, laughing at me while I try to catch an elevator up, and the door closes with them in it before I can get on. Not that I'd want to get on it after I see they are there. A memorable moment where they make up a story about me screaming at them in the hallways. I'll admit, I was ignoring them, but pretty fed up. When I was walking down the hallway of the floor that had the storage room, another coworker was there and had a cleaning cart out, and I noticed that she had her purse with her on the cart, and it was kind of hanging off the side and visible. These two girls are, for some reason, on the same floor and walking past me, and I see my shining moment to be a little witch. I let them walk past me and then loudly say to my coworker in one of the rooms, "Hey, keep an eye on your bag out here," as I walk past her. These are my exact words. I'm trying to be smart about it. I don't remember what cameras have audio, and I don't want there to be actual proof of me calling them thieves. They come unglued. They go to the head housekeeper and tell her that I'm spreading rumors about them. Someone told me they went up to another floor and were ranting and cussing about me to another coworker, and they heard them. The head housekeeper comes to me like, "What is this all about?" And I'm just like, I don't know. All I did was tell so-and-so to watch their bag because it was hanging off their cart. Which, honestly, if you hear someone say that and then immediately become untethered about it being an accusation to you, you're a thief.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, was OP absolutely directing it towards them? Yeah. And they caught on? Yeah. But OP has plausible deniability.
Yeah, and if you're not a thief, that shouldn't bother you really at all.
Like, okay.
Just be like, yeah, you should tell her to watch her bag. That's just good practice.
That's just good practice.
That's just good standard operating.
That's just safety in the workplace, you know?
Watch yourself. Fast forward to this week. They got caught stealing expensive cologne.
Oh my goodness. Who could have guessed this?
Out of a stay-over room after multiple instances of things disappearing from rooms that they clean. The manager of the hotel is going to confront them with the video of them doing it and fire them.
Finally.
Blow, blow, blow.
Bra, bra, bra. You're out.
This entire time, they were actually stealing from the rooms.
It does not look very good on management or that house cleaner that this was going on. And it seems like they were obviously not very good employees.
Yeah. Seems like somebody knew what was up.
Yeah.
But because they were the somebody of somebody, they weren't getting in trouble fast enough.
Yeah.
But by the way, you'll get in trouble real fast. Okay, if you don't look up OK Storytime on your favorite podcast platform and start listening to the full episodes with stories just like this that we have there. Go to iHeartRadio or Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts and just search the name of the show. And then you have a long river of stories that can flow right into your ears like a little lazy river. That's the sound. And we have a little more story left here. We've got a little bit of an update. Let's get into it.
Woo.
Went into work today to find out that not only were they caught on camera stealing, but a different stayover customer did an elaborate Scooby-Doo trap where they carefully placed their items around and took a picture of every single thing. They came back to their room later that day and were able to easily show what items were stolen. And you guessed it, these two were the cleaners of that room. How dumb do you have to be to do that, honestly?
That's so fun to see them all laid out perfectly. And they're like, well, thank goodness they laid out all the valuables.
Yeah. It's,
These two don't sound like the smartest bunch anyway, though.
True. When they called in for the schedule, the manager answered and told them they were fired and to never come back. And that's the end.
And it's never coming back.
Oh, yeah, dude. I love some justice.
Me too.
I love some
feels
jest
great.
Desserts.
Yeah, it feels pretty great. And then you can go, oh, well, I'm glad I told that one coworker to watch her bag since we had thieves on the loose.
Yeah, it's almost like it's not even a rumor when it turns out to be true, right? It just becomes relevant information.
Mm-hmm. But that's the end of that story, and we've got another one coming right up. My coworker started a war over a pumpkin. Now I want HR involved.
HR, you must mediate this pumpkin war.
We work in the busiest branch in our entire region. Working in a bank, we have tons of regulars, and so we feel a little more comfortable being ourselves around them. For the most part, when my manager asks me about a customer, I can usually tell her a pretty detailed story of who they are. I say this because my demonic coworker often has these outbursts in front of or near them. By the way, this comes from Gabrielle Meline. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, also, we have a new manager whom I absolutely adore and think is magnificent at her job. However, she had a rough start because of personal things that happened very early on in her managing us that were out of her control. I say this because my coworker is totally taking advantage of this, as she never behaved like this when our old manager was with us. Mind you, this paragraph isn't where the drama gets crazy, but it is where it begins. Before all this drama, the demon and I were good friends. We'd always go out for dinners together. We'd hang out at each other's homes. Her little son got me a birthday gift, for Pete's sake. She's the only one that I spent my birthday with, like we were close. Then the forbidden pumpkin contest happened. Very long story short, my boyfriend and I painted her pumpkin for her because she had no interest in it. Hers won and mine got second place out of 8. She kept bragging and bragging about it, making fun of me for losing since I went to an art school in France and still lost.
Hey.
She did your pumpkin. What are you talking about?
Are you a fool?
I eventually got annoyed with the bragging and told her, geez, with how much bragging you do, you'd think you painted your own pumpkin. Anyways, because there was an actual prize on the line, my regional manager came in and realized that my coworker hadn't worked on her pumpkin and thought it only fair that I get the points instead. The way they told me seemed like they had discussed it with my coworker first. I arrive at work later than everyone, so I said I don't care either way, honestly. Those were the words that ruined everything. My coworker assumed that I begged for the prize or something and went crazy on me. Started telling my coworkers in front of me, in front of customers, that I was pathetic, selfish, immature, that I was too competitive, that I stole her prize. You didn't even paint that pumpkin, girl.
Yeah, that's such a huge red flag that you literally got her first place, and instead of being like, "Oh my God, thank you, you did such a good job," she went, "Ha ha, you suck, I rock." What?
She kept slamming doors and huffing and puffing. I was so shocked I went downstairs and cried. But I decided to leave it alone because maybe she would chill out and talk to me about it another day when she had time to think about it.
I will never understand, and I know people are human, but I'll never understand I almost cried about it. Like, this would be so ridiculous to me. I would just do nothing but be like, do you realize how wrong you are about this, right?
Yeah, she's
Like,
pretty wrong. I mean, like, it's just kind of incredibly unreasonable to make all this huff and puff about a thing that you didn't even make.
like, imagine if, like, you're in school and somehow this, like, OP takes this girl's test for her and does better on her test than her own test.
And then she's like, ah!
And she starts running around telling everyone she's so smart and that OP is an idiot.
Yeah, that would be
That's
crazy.
the same thing.
She did not. Ever since then, she's been making work heck for me, refusing to talk to me, so it's gotten to the point where my manager has to tell her to sell me money for customers or to look into my transactions to find out if I accidentally gave a customer too much or literally do her job as head teller. Then the Graham stories started. Every time I tried to talk to her, she'd post a post, every time I tried to talk to her, she'd post a story about how there are snakes around her, but she was protected by Jesus or some weird crap like that. The Grahams have gotten weirder, meaner, and more accusatory over time. So I screenshot them because I know she'll eventually post something that is very clearly about me so I can show my manager. My manager is involved because I wanted to get HR involved, and she asked me to give her a chance to deal with it herself. To her credit, she's been trying, but in front of my manager, she's all, okay, sure, of course. Yeah, I understand. And then as soon as my manager goes to her office, she's staring daggers at me and posting about our beef. Now, her grandmother passed a couple of weeks ago, and our job gives you a month of bereavement, no questions asked. She decided to take a week off, telling my manager she doesn't trust us tellers to get our work done. Mind you, we are the branch with the best ratings, and my manager was confused by what she said, because if we can't do our jobs, that means my coworker didn't do her job in training us.
I was about to say that. As the head teller, telling your boss all your subordinates can't do their jobs right is not a good look. It's not the slam dunk that you think it is.
Looks pretty bad for you. Well, she took a week off and then has called out every single day for 2 weeks, which means I've been covering her shifts. I mean, my pockets are happier and heavier, but I've literally been covering her out of respect for my manager that walked into a crap show and my coworkers that always bust their butts, not out of respect for the demon. Also, my coworker and I noticed that since her grandmother, someone that she loved very much, passed away, she hasn't posted anything about family or that. She's only amped up the number of stories about our beef literally every hour or so.
It's crazy that you guys were like
close,
hanging out all the time and giving each other Christmas presents, and now a pumpkin carving contest is going to be the end of it.
Where she didn't get points because she didn't make the pumpkin.
I mean, what was the prize?
It was like points for something, but I don't know exactly what that means.
At the very least, you could have, you should have offered to like give her the prize is what you should have done.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh yeah, you painted my pumpkin, you deserve the prize.
Yeah.
Maybe you take first prize and I can, I don't know, take the second prize that you got. So then that would be fair. Or, I mean, I guess fair would be you get both.
Yeah.
But whatever.
By the way, I haven't talked to anyone about this, only my manager and my boyfriend. So when my coworkers say, girl, this is about you, right? That's a little crazy to me. Another coworker has also stated that I need to be careful because she tried telling our manager that I've been bullying her. And they had to step into the manager's office after the demon was done talking to her and tell my manager, I'm going to be honest, that really doesn't sound like OP. Like, you can see for yourself that OP doesn't react meanly even when a customer yells at her, which I cannot tell you how much I appreciate my coworkers stepping up for me. My manager is thinking of pulling her into a meeting for a warning because it's been 2 months of one-sided war over a pumpkin. And now it's turned into her calling me out by name and pestering me. I didn't ask her to do any of this. My own manager is getting fed up with it. Apparently, she's also been auditing me without my knowledge. I can have a surprise audit anytime, but auditing my cash box and coins, wait. Okay. But auditing my cash box and coins anytime I'm not working is insane and a huge waste of time. They usually only do that when they think you're stealing from the bank, and normally it's the regional manager that tells the manager to do it. My manager had no idea I was being audited because the demon never left the stickers on my vaults, letting me or anyone know she had audited me. This is not allowed at all because without transparency, nothing stops her from messing with my cash box to make my numbers off. By the way, it would be off of you to not listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
Girlie about to start looking for a new job.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
She's going to get fired for that one.
You're going to get fired, girl, because you were upset about a pumpkin. That's so embarrassing. But OP, you've done nothing wrong. I think you've handled this well. And there's really nothing else you could have done to prevent this. So,
yeah, I mean, me personally, I think I would have been checking her more actively and constantly, of being like, you know, I don't know, I'd see these little all these little jabs and snide remarks. It'd just be like, are you serious? Like,
yeah,
I painted your pumpkin.
Yeah, and now you're coming at me and you're saying
what? There's something about this that I remember. Oh God, what was it? It was like some show where like someone's going on a date and they're like, I want you to make me look good.
Yeah.
And then like the entire time the guy on the date is just like bashing this friend that came along. And, like, then the friend finally breaks and, like, bashes him back. And he goes, dude, what the heck? I thought we talked about this. And it's like, what do you mean? Like, I said I would,
thought
like,
we talked about it, too.
Yeah. I said I'd, like, help. I would help you out, not be your, like, literal, like, punching bag.
Yeah. But OP finishes off, I have started selling all my cash and coins to my other coworker every time a shift ends and buying it back on my next shift, which is time-consuming and annoying. But it was my coworker's idea, so I feel comfortable doing that since she's trying to protect me. I'm trying to take a back seat and not say so much because I feel like her actions will eventually get her fired. My regional manager seems to like firing people if they aren't following the rules 100%, but she likes to have an ironclad case, so there's no chance for a lawsuit. So I'm just waiting for the demon to get caught.
I'm pretty sure auditing you every day without, like, informing anyone is a clear violation.
Yeah. Pretty big violation. I will say my regional manager has been at our branch a whole lot more than usual and has been hanging around the teller stations more and more, so something tells me she's keeping an eye on the situation. And that is the end of that story. It seems like you're in good hands, OP, so I think it'll be all right.
Your friend's job, your ex-friend's job,
is
not long for this world.
Nope. But that is the end of that story, and we've got another one coming right up.
I refused to cover for my boss's mistake and risk my career.
You're going down.
I started working as a sales assistant a couple of months ago. Before this job, I had already booked a few important freelance projects that are taking place until the end of my probation. By the way, this comes from user the catastrophic ace. There we go. By the way, this comes from user the catastrophic ace, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
And we are here to give you good advice, goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We're just two little goobers.
It's true.
We only know what two little goobers would do, so let us know what you little goobers would do down in the comments. And OP says, before I signed the contract for this new job, I emailed the store manager asking if it was okay to go ahead with all these projects, making sure he knew ahead of time which key dates and times I would be needed. I also asked him to specify at what time my shifts were meant to finish, since although they were already discussed in person, nothing was mentioned in the contract itself. The store manager replied back with the times, then said that I was more than free to go ahead with the projects as long as they didn't clash with work. Fair enough. I contacted every single project manager, informing them of my probation and the closing hours that might now clash with their calendars. Fortunately, they were all willing to make an exception in light of the sudden change and even wished me all the best with my new job. So far, so good.
Okay.
Here's where everything took a nosedive.
Uh-oh.
Without any heads up, I slowly started to realize that the hours weren't what I was promised. Some of the weekly shifts required me to work an extra hour after closing time. I had to start working on random days during the weekend even though the contract and email said I was only meant to work during weekdays. And on top of all that, I slowly had to start working an 11-hour shift every week. When I contacted the store manager about all of this, he assured me this was just to make sure I hit the 40-hour mark. Fair, except if they were initially unhappy with the hours they assigned me to work, why couldn't they have just told me from beforehand what my actual schedule was going to be? Well, simply because that would be too easy.
That would be too easy. They want to give you a challenge. They want you to figure out the schedule.
Obviously, with these new hours coming out of thin air, I had to inform my project managers of the work updates. While some were incredibly kind and accommodating, others were justifiably pissed off with the situation. Not only would my absence be a breach in their contract, it would also be very disrespectful to those who drafted the project calendar months before I even had my first interview with this store. One of the project managers even threatened to fire me if I didn't find a solution to all of this. Desperate, I sent a detailed email explaining everything to my store manager. I told him how few people we were in this project and that my absence would be detrimental. I explained how my role requires me to be present every day once we start working on the project as of the final week of next month. I explained that there were only a handful of days I had an issue with, since every other workday is completely fine with the project members. I explained that I only needed to leave 1 hour early from these few shifts, specifically the ones where I was already working an extra hour after closing time. Later, my store manager wrote back and said he had no issue whatsoever with letting me leave early on those days. The one condition he had was that I'd need to work some weekend shifts, so I wouldn't fall behind on the 40 hours. In this email, he also assured me that these weekend shifts wouldn't clash with the project. Well, the following week, I received the work schedule for this month, and 2 things to note. One is that I was no longer working after the store closes, not just on the project dates, literally every week, which is weird considering he really wanted me to make up the 40 hours. And 2, I was only scheduled to work on 1 single day out of every weekend this month. Yes, it is also the only day out of every weekend I will have to work on my project.
They just hate you.
Your store manager is incompetent.
Yeah.
Or
Your store
has
manager
it
doesn't
out
know
for
what
you.
he's doing. Yeah, I think maybe both. I think he's like stupid, and also he's like, I don't really like you anyway.
And if I was you, I'd literally be like, I'm not coming in. We have to change the schedule. Because
Yeah.
I told you, I don't know if something got mixed up and you flipped it by accident in your head. Those are the only dates I can't work on the weekend.
Yeah, I think you just go in and say exactly that. You say, I can't do those. I've told you before I can't do those. Sorry, can't do them.
I sent a message to the store manager asking him if this was perhaps a mistake, assuring him I have no issue whatsoever with working literally every other weekend this month. I even assured him that I can work the extra hours after closing time as long as they didn't clash with the project. His reply was, I thought we said you're only working on the project on these specific days during the week.
No.
Why are you now no longer available? You're really pushing it. We're going to have a meeting next week to discuss this.
Maybe you're just freaking dumb, dude. Did you think about that?
We've talked about it multiple times, my guy.
I hope that you have some sort of paper trail for this. To be like, actually, no. We talked about this. Did they send? Did OP send like a?
I think so. I believe there is a paper trail.
Okay,
OP continues. Confused, I collected myself, then wrote back, Hi. I feel like there might have
Hi.
been some miscommunication. In my email, I specified that the project was taking place every day. And in your reply, you told me that my weekend shifts won't clash with the project. I'm sorry, but I was very transparent in my emails about everything. I am more than happy to discuss this further in our meeting next week. I made sure to send him screenshots of our emails along with those texts just to be safe. His reply, I agree. There is indeed a misunderstanding here. OP, this is supposed to be your full-time job. You do realize I had to cancel and rearrange other people's shifts and booked leave to accommodate you, right? This isn't working for either of us. Dude, there's no way he
Guy's
literally...
so-
You sent him receipts of
Yeah.
like, here is exactly what I told you I'm looking for, and then you were like, okay, we can make that work. And then you messed up the schedule, and now it's my fault that you messed up.
Genuinely, is there anyone else that we can go to that's above him and just show the whole exchange?
Yeah. I mean,
Because this
OP's
guy's incompetent.
OP says, I am done. I am so done, which is why I'm inclined to do the a-hole thing here. Before there was this whole debacle, I was approached to participate in an extremely important event, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that only comes around for specific people every 10 years. Are you in a secret society? Before I confirmed my participation, I of course requested leave. Fortunately, it was granted, so I gave these event people the go-ahead. And by the way, I give you the go-ahead to listen to full episodes with stories like this on your favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Wherever you listen to stories, search OK Storytime, and you've got a bonanza, a bazoonla, a gazillion,
Gazillion million.
a gazoon-tight amount of stories to listen to. And there is a little bit left to this story. I can't wait for you to get out of here.
I can't wait for you to quit and say, you guys stink.
Just an annoying situation.
To have all of the receipts and for him to still be like, well, actually, I can't read.
Yeah, the icing on the cake is just, being scheduled the exact days on the weekend where you were like, I just can't do that day.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It wasn't until a few days ago that I realized the store manager went ahead and scheduled me to work that shift anyways. It literally shows on the system that my booked leave is still accepted and everything. So seeing as my store manager feels this isn't working for either of us, and he's most likely going to end my probation during our meeting there and then, would I be the a-hole for not telling him about this oversight? Would I be the a-hole for not reminding him I can't work during that shift, therefore leaving the shop unattended due to his ignorance and lack of accountability? I don't think that's unfair at all. I think, clearly this manager struggles with
Anything?
with his
Everything?
responsibilities with
Yeah.
scheduling.
Think so.
So let him deal with that.
Yeah, he'll get in trouble. He'll get his comeuppance.
But that is the end of that story.
My boyfriend says cats are biohazards after watching a short video.
That's just extremely toxic.
My boyfriend apparently did some
Yes, okay.
research, aka 5 minutes on Google and a couple TikTok videos, and has now decided that our cats are pretty much biohazards. By the way, this comes from Happily Depresso, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, his biggest problem is that he claims the cats, and only cats apparently, carry incredibly toxic and dangerous bacteria that will unalive us. He's convinced they're the nastiest animal ever, even though I shared that dogs carry more bacteria, which he said was a lie. He's always had an issue with the litter box smell, which I get because it's nasty, but I don't think anyone likes it. I don't either, but at least I have been looking for solutions. I've been on a quest to find the least offensive litter option within our price range and haven't found anything that satisfies him. I'm starting to think I never will. But not because finding the litter itself is impossible, because I feel like he'll find a reason to never be satisfied. Hamilton, shut out. Plus, he never lifts a finger to help find a solution. Suddenly, everything's an issue about the cats. How much the food is, 80 cents to $1 per can, so like $120 a month. How smelly the litter box is, that they don't do anything to earn their keep. How cat-like they are. Just everything. Out of the blue, he tells me he never wanted the cats, and I forced him to keep and be responsible for animals that he doesn't want. I did bring our first cat, a stray, home. She followed me there, but I did not force her to stay or ask him to keep her. He was the one that would insist on closing the door so she wouldn't leave, and initiated us investing in cat supplies. After a while of having her, he suggested, based on a Jackson Galaxy video, that she might be lonely as a single cat. We saw a little kitten that had her same colors and inquired about its adoption. He was unavailable by then, and they suggested we look into a pair of black kittens. I suggested we not go through with it, or at least wait, and he would go back and forth about it. Finally, as I was canceling our appointment, he nudged us to do it, only to tell me after we brought one kitten home that he didn't want to, but I had done it anyway. Present time. He says he wishes we had adopted both kittens instead of just the one, and then back to, I never wanted to adopt it. Also, there's a stray cat outside our apartments that's had a cool coat that he's been pushing me to get it to trust me so we can keep it.
What is going on here?
I don't want a third cat, and since he doesn't want cats, I don't understand why bring it home.
Why is he so wishy-washy on everything? There's something more to be like, I like a cat, I don't want a cat. I want a cat, I don't want cats. I hate cats. What is going on?
He's weird, dude. He can also be the complete opposite. He'll go out of his way to buy expensive treats and toys for them. He will have them lay close to us, even when they don't want to, so we can spend time with them. He'll go out of his way to safely offer outdoor enrichment and worries about their safety and health, sometimes obsessively. He's forced them to sleep cuddled up with him and tells me how much he loves the cats and how funny or cool they are. As of today, he has decided that he wants the cats to stay in one room and they're no longer allowed in the rest of the apartment. He's now an authority on bacteria and cleanliness and decided they're pretty much toxic biohazards that will get you sick with life-risky bacteria if you breathe the same air. If I say anything he disagrees with, like all animals are nasty, he says I'm just trying to fight with him and don't know what I'm talking about. I understand, some people just don't like cats, but he's starting to be unreasonable in my opinion. He's been making distasteful jokes about how the cats should find their own food outside so he doesn't have to get their food, how he hopes they get out and can't come back. And he suggests getting rid of them, sometimes saying he'll do it when I'm not home or sleeping.
Look, this is not funny. This guy's an idiot, by the way.
Take the cats and run.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This guy, just whatever he's bringing to the table, it's not worth it. This guy said, I went on the internet for 5 minutes, and I believe everything I heard. These cats, we're going to be unalived right now because we breathe the same air as they do.
Weird. He did this once before, and I was left having to make a decision between him and the cats. The tension of whatever he had going on disappeared. I think it was financial stress. And suddenly he loved the cats again after like a day or two of them being confined to the room. I feel whiplash. I feel like I can't plan or make any decisions concretely. I feel bad for the cats because while the room is decently sized, I'm always making sure they're not lonely. Being locked away doesn't feel like a good way to live. The jokes he makes are not funny and cause me constant anxiety. At the same time, I don't think I can make the decision to give them away just like that to make him feel better. Especially because he's always hot and cold about it, and I don't agree with adopting animals to just get rid of them. I feel like even if they were gone, he'd just find something else to make his problem. Frankly, I'm tired of his witching all the time. By the way, I'd never be tired of you listening to full episodes with stories just like this all the time. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts, search up OK Storytime. There's just a tiny bit left, but I say get rid of the boy and keep the cats.
Bingo. At this point, for the safety of yourself and your sanity and the sanity and safety of your cats. This
Yeah.
guy just seems
He's
unhinged.
too back and forth. Like, what the heck?
Like, I get there's like a leeway of like we should like more cats, less cats, more cats, less cats. But this guy's like, I hate cats one day, and the next day he's like, I love cats. We should get like 5 more. Is
Weird.
very weird and way too much. This guy, and he gets his information from the internet. Like he trusts everything on the internet is a really big red flag.
A 5-minute TikTok, probably about toxoplasmosis.
This
and
guy,
he's an expert.
this
now.
guy probably thinks
He's a
he's like,
vet. He went to vet school now.
yeah. I was gonna say he's like, I have a PhD in cats because I watched a 5-minute video on cats.
Yeah. If I leave with the cats, I'd have to go live with my parents and their 2 dogs in a 2-bedroom apartment, and I feel like that's way worse than keeping them in the room. I'm so frustrated and upset, but I am willing to admit if I'm wrong. I know all animals are nasty and carry bacteria, but are cats just that much worse? Are they as harmful as he says and does? Are they as harmful as he says, and does he have a good reason to be this way, or ask that I get rid of them? This back and forth thing and saying I'm the reason he has burdens in his life are really wearing on me. I really need advice from someone not in the situation. That is the end of that story.
Hey, did you want to tell him like, hey, you know what else is gross and like full of bacteria?
You.
Humans.
You.
But also you.
Yeah,
So-
he's the grossest, germiest of the humans.
I don't know. I would say he needs to get checked for something because he's very unhinged.
I'm also wondering, like, does that stem from an anxiety issue if you're constantly back and forth on, like, the germs of a cat?
Yeah, you brought up the
specifically?
financial issue where he was like, one day he was like really stressed out about
Right.
finances, and
Is
the
it
next day he was so good.
stress-induced? Like, I wonder if there's a deeper lying thing. Do I think that like gives him
The excuse?
the excuse?
No. But if you
I
really,
think he needs to get over it.
I think you
and
need to
get
find a
out.
solution. And I'm telling you right now, solution
sounds
is
like
getting rid of
going
him.
to live with 2 dogs for a little bit.
Yeah. That is the end of that story, and we have another one coming right up. Our kitten jumped on my boyfriend's minifigures, and now he is furious.
Oh no, our minifigures, they're broken.
Well, they're his minifigures, actually. I, female 26, have been with my boyfriend, male 25, for nearly 3 years. I'm going to go ahead and clarify that my boyfriend has autism, ADHD, and anger issues. Not that it excuses his actions, but just to let people know what is going on. By the way, this comes from user ImportantJunket834, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Keon,
I'm Carly.
and we're here to give good advice goofily. We only know what we do. We don't have all the answers. So please let us know what you do in the comments. Please. OP says, we have a 5-month-old kitten. We have a 5-month-old kitten that we got last month. He is sweet, cuddly, playful, and generally pretty well behaved. He's also potty trained and everything. Dang, he came potty trained just like that? Sweet.
Cats are pretty easy.
He is a joy to have, at least I think so. Yesterday, like any cat, he decided he wanted to get into some mischief and tried jumping on the windowsill in our bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
He accidentally dropped onto a set of shelves that contained some anime figures my boyfriend likes to collect. None of them got broken or anything like that, and they are pretty cheap since we are talking the $5 to $15 range. Of course, our kitten was rightfully scolded. However, my boyfriend decided to shut our kitten in the bathroom and then proceeded to literally tell our cat to stop hissing at him. All right.
So I do think there's also a thing that cats can't learn negative reinforcement. Like, I think that's like a study.
Is that really?
If I recall correctly, that was a thing for a while.
Like okay.
Like, yelling at them doesn't really do much.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. My boyfriend then slammed the bathroom door shut and then slammed the bedroom door on the way out. We don't slam doors. I went to go check on our cat, and he was okay and everything, but still, our cat tends to be a lot more calm around me, whereas with my boyfriend, he has hissed at him and clawed at him a couple of times. I wonder why. He's only like this with my boyfriend and not with me. My boyfriend, while I love him to pieces, has a tendency to lose his temper really easily, even if it is over small things or any inconvenience. He will never say it out loud, but I know he hates when something does not go his way or when someone does not do what he wants. We had a couple of really big fights last year when my parents had to get involved because I was desperately seeking some outside advice on what to do. The first time was in August, and he flipped out over an important phone call being hung up on accident. Let me do it one more time. The first time was in August, and he flipped out over an important phone call being hung up on accident. He also screamed, but later apologized, and it seemed that he felt genuine remorse for the things he said. I admit I screamed back at him, but it was because he was getting really angry at me for something that was not my fault, and I thought he was going to do something to me. We had another fight later that year that seriously escalated to us nearly breaking up. He said some hurtful things, and I said some hurtful things back that I should have not said. And it became a huge back and forth for about a week before we finally reconciled. Things have improved, I think, since then, but every now and then there will be moments like what happened yesterday that have me concerned. My cats mean a lot to me, and they are a package deal. I'm afraid my boyfriend is going to pull the "it is me" or the gato, or in English, the cat, or do something else like hurt him or try to give him away. I do not just have our kitten either. I also have another cat that I had before my boyfriend that is about 2 years old and that I have raised since he was born. I love my cats. How much do you love your cats? Do you love your cats more than you love your boyfriend?
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like you already know that if it came down to him asking me or the cats, you know that it's the cats already.
The cats don't yell back at you.
The
cats don't slam
issue
doors.
Just becomes getting out before he tries to get rid of them, or like risking him just giving the cats away,
right,
kind of thing. Because you know your answer is going to be the cats.
Yes. They are like family, and I am nervous how he's going to be with the kids. They are like family, and I am nervous how he's going to be with kids because of his temper. If this is how he acts around kittens, I don't want any kids near this man.
Very telling how people interact with animals.
Because kids, they see anime figures or anything playful, they're going to touch them. As far as other things go, on top of that, my boyfriend does not have a job, but he gets Social Security income?
I think.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Just say SSI.
Yeah. As far as other things go, on top of that, my boyfriend does not have a job, but he gets SSI because of his autism and other things. I am the only one who has a full-time job and pays for everything else besides rent and half for utilities and groceries with the money he receives each month. Which is fine, and I understand his situation completely. But I admit it has put a bit of a strain on our relationship financially. He asked for more money from me than usual because he missed an electric bill and then missed a payment for something Google related. At this point, I am just ranting because I feel unsure of our future. I want to get married someday and have kids, and at this rate, it feels like it is never going to happen. I do not expect anything to happen right now, but I would at least like to have some security in knowing what goals we have. We have talked about some stuff, but they never feel completely aligned. For example, he wants to move to a different country someday. I really do not want to. I would be happy visiting, but I do not want to live there. I am content staying near family in the same state or a neighboring state. I do not expect a big fancy house either, just something a little bigger than a one-bedroom apartment. He has talked about wanting to live in an RV, but I do not want to live like that. I love traveling, but not that much. It is odd because he really can be quite sweet and caring, but on the flip side, he can also be temperamental and get impatient with me. Anyway, I have gone on way too long. I've gone on for way too long, and I do not know if anyone is going to read my post. We read it. But I could really use some advice. Pretty please and thank you. I really love him and want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I am at my wit's end. I can give more info if needed. And, by the way, I can give you more episodes if needed. All you gotta do is just go to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and search up OK Storytime. We have plenty of episodes there.
It's true.
There is a little bit left. Carly.
Sounds like you don't want to date this dude anymore.
I feel like you guys are just incompatible. You've already had 2 major fights.
At the very core of it, too, like, if he can't understand that the cat just accidentally knocked over cheap minifigures and it was obviously an accident, and, like, yes, you can get upset about it, but literally nothing was broken.
Yeah.
And you had, like,
he
a massive freak out about it and started screaming at the cats. Like...
And I get it. He's
like got to understand that the cats are going to cat.
And I get it. He has autism. He's ADHD. He has temperament issues. But those aren't excuses especially since nothing was broken. If there was something that did break, I don't want to imagine if this is his aggression or his level of aggression to just something minimal like this. I don't even want to know what can get out of hand. I don't know. He just doesn't sound safe in general. I would talk to him about his temperament and see if that can get worked on. But at the end of the day, what's best for your sanity, your health, the safety of your cats? I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be with this guy, especially since you guys are on way different wavelengths of what you want to do in the future. So.
Agreed.
We have an edit. Edit, I forgot to put in some stuff regarding our kitten. It is not the first time he has gotten impatient with him. He has a bad habit of being a little forceful with him. He constantly tries to get our kitten to do what he wants. And as a cat owner, we all know how well that goes. Cut to you. Does it go well?
Kai's pretty good.
Yeah, he's great. I've had cats my whole life. I know how it is. I am also aware that I will probably get some negative comments, which I am prepared for, but please be honest with me. Thank you. I'm going to be honest with you, OP. There are plenty of fish out in the sea, and this one does not look like a good fish.
Especially saying that you want kids and stuff. If he's forceful with a kitten not behaving, I would be worried for force on a toddler or an infant that's not behaving.
Because usually pets are like the practice or the pre-practice before having a kid, and if this is how he's acting with pets,
yeah, I don't know.
He
needs anger issue help.
Yeah,
and if he's willing to get that, then maybe.
But also, you're kind of taking care of him. You're financially supporting him, and he's not looking for a job. He's not trying to do that. You deserve better, OP, than trying to take care of 2 cats and a full-fledged human right now. So, that's the end of that story.
Okay.
And we do have another one coming right up.
My partner has been ignoring my cat, but now thinks he gets final say.
I'll get the final say.
Since late December, my cat has been seriously ill with a nasty kidney infection.
Oh, no.
For context on the dynamic here, I am in a polyamorous relationship with my partners Matt, 26 male, and B, 31 non-binary, and we all live together. By the way, this comes from BackstrokerJC, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. Let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, since my cat got sick, B has gone above and beyond in helping me care for my cat, bringing in friends to help take care of her while we were away for the holidays, etc. B is also a critical care nurse, and their insight into caring for critically ill people has been so helpful in caring for my cat. She genuinely would not be alive without their expertise. For context, I'm a medical student, and while I have much less bedside experience than B, I have also been able to be much more hands-on in my cat's care than the average pet owner because of this. All this to say, my cat is in really good hands. Matt, on the other hand, has not been involved in my cat's care and has shown no interest in getting more involved. This is fine and expected. He didn't take care of her litter box, food, other normal cat things when she was healthy. I got this cat before moving in with either Matt or B, and don't expect Matt to take care of a cat he had no say in adopting. He will often ask me questions about my cat's care that show that he doesn't really have a grasp of what is going on with her medically or with her plan of care. Again, this is fine. He's not in medicine, and I don't expect him to know some of this stuff. It's a lot to keep track of, and her situation changes almost daily. However, that brings me to what Matt said to me this morning that made me feel really upset and condescended to. As part of her care, my cat has been on antibiotics for the past week. Matt did know about this, so he asked this morning when her last day of antibiotics was. I said that it was technically yesterday, but B had brought up the possibility of continuing them for another couple of days since this infection has been so hard to treat. Matt said, in a very authoritative and serious tone, "We shouldn't give her any more antibiotics." This threw me for a complete loop, and I immediately responded, "With all due respect, you are neither a medical professional nor have you been involved in my cat's care, so that's not your decision to make." Things got very quiet and tense, and after a few minutes, Matt replied that while he's not a medical professional and hasn't been involved in her care, animal welfare is really important to him, and he doesn't think we should be putting an animal through unnecessary suffering. He also said that he's been holding his tongue about her treatment until now, but that from now on he will be voicing his opinions, which he said he's entitled to. I went quiet and didn't respond, both because of shock and because our friend, one of the friends that has been helping care for the cat, was over and had just come in the room. I took the convenient excuse of needing to drive her home to end the conversation and haven't said anything more to him about it. The thing is, I think him suddenly acting all authoritative on my cat's care is really condescending and disrespectful to the tremendous amount of work and anxiety that B and I have been through to treat my cat. I mean, does he think we haven't agonized over whether the steps we've taken to treat her are appropriate? Does he think that his concern for animal welfare means he gets to speak over our knowledge and experience, both in medicine generally and with my cat specifically? Because it's relevant to note, my cat is not in pain to the best that B or I or the vets can tell. She spends most days resting comfortably, like one would expect an animal recovering from a serious infection would. B and I are also very open to advice on her care from people who have been involved or who have relevant knowledge. All of our friends who helped care for her were over last night, and B and I spoke to each of them about whether they thought her care was appropriate. We also asked our friend, a physician who works in the NICU, about the antibiotics issued specifically, and she advised caution in extending my cat's course of treatment, an opinion I value very highly and am taking very seriously while deciding what to do. My only judgment so far is, why are none of these people vets that we're talking?
Yeah, I was gonna say if they're professional, this is their medical field.
Right, it's the general medical field. It's the NICU, so babies and stuff. I get that, and I know you said there was a team of vets, but it's just really funny to me that I'm sure there's so much overlap. I totally believe you, and I totally am sure that you guys are doing great. That's just been funny to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it was the next one. Very valuable and taking very seriously deciding what to do. And by the way, I would very highly encourage you to go listen to more episodes with stories just like this. You should go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, search up OK Storytime. There's a decent chunk left, actually. Advice, thoughts?
I don't know. I like how he's like, now I'm gonna put my place and my opinion, and I'm gonna say what I want to say.
Yeah.
Where was this in the beginning? First, second, not your cat.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say my initial reaction to what he said first was not that it was coming from a place of malice or like ill intent, but then when he like doubled down that he got a say in everything is when I was like, oh no, that's like very weirdly authoritative and like rude.
Yeah, who are you to? I get it. You're part of this, but.
Right. Like, I could understand the first thing of, like, well, you should not give more antibiotics is a very common thing for a lot of people to be like, well, you don't do more antibiotics than you need kind of thing. So, like, that could have just been something kind of innocent. Like, I took it to potentially, again, didn't have the, like, tone, obviously.
Right.
But then when he doubled down, I was like, nah, dude. What are we doing?
And the fact he's like, I worry about animals and the welfare
Right.
of animals. I'm like, okay, cool.
You literally
but
haven't
are
worried
you?
about my cat.
But are you like legitimately a vet? If you're, the vets have told me what they have told me. They're the professionals. You're not a professional. Yes, you can worry about the cat. You don't think I'm worried about my cat right now?
Yeah.
I hope. Yeah. I don't know. It seems like
Yeah.
maybe everyone's giving a lot
I
of
have slightly
attention. It's
different
making you
feelings.
sad, and everyone's sad about your cat, and he's just like, what I can tell, he's just upset about you. Like,
I
ugh,
think he's upset for the cat.
I hope
I
not.
don't think
Yeah.
that I think that he's coming in way too strong, way too late. He should have been there and actually helping if he wants like such a big sudden say in things.
Yeah, the best way you can do is support your partner and
I'm
try
sure
and
he
support the
was,
animal.
I would hope.
But like telling them is like, this is my opinion and you should take my opinion over your opinion kind of thing.
Out of line.
Not, yeah.
I'm looking for advice on how to approach Matt and kindly but firmly tell him that the way he approached this issue was disrespectful, condescending, and hurtful, and how to convey to him that while his support is appreciated and he has been emotionally supportive, it's not his place to comment on her medical care. I shut down and haven't yet spoken to him about how inappropriate and hurtful his comments were. How should I handle this? No, I am not looking for advice on my cat's health. And we have some comments.
I think exactly what you just said, and you tell him straight up, like, hey, that was rude and inconsiderate, and
Yeah.
and you can also probably bring up like, hey, what's going on? Because like that came out of
I don't
nowhere.
think it's that deep. I'm
It-
going to be
no.
so real. I think the first comment was potentially taken out of context and maybe a little pushy, but then like it was the like talk back that then got like a comment back from Matt that I was like, whoa.
He probably is also stressed out too, and
Right. He's
really
probably
worried.
stressed that you're stressed.
Yeah, which makes sense, but I think the way to go about that situation, for him especially, not the right way.
Yeah. I'm leaning slightly towards everyone's overreacting a little bit here.
I think,
I think some people suck more. But
I mean, if someone tried to tell me how to take care of my pet, yes, opinions matter, but like,
But if you were talking about extending Mia on antibiotics and I came up and said, I've actually heard it's really not a good idea to extend antibiotics in pets.
and yeah, and I'd be like, well, but this is what the vet said.
And I'd be like, oh, didn't know that kind of thing. So I'm saying his initial concern for the pet of like hearing antibiotics shouldn't be extended is like a valid thing to bring up.
100%. I just think
I don't think the snap back after
I was gonna say
what was
the tone,
Right.
and how he
I
went
just
about
wonder
it.
if defensiveness led to that tone.
I
though.
think so too. That's why.
That's why I'm on the like everyone could be kind of in the wrong here, but Matt sucks the most.
I'd be like, yo, Matt, chill.
Yeah, I'd be like, Matt, homie, you're not a vet. I'm not a vet either, though.
But the vet, so what the
But
vet's told me.
The vet.
Guess he's
didn't
been talking to the vets the most.
But the thing is, the vet didn't say to extend that medication. B, through their medical training, that's also non-veterinary training, suggested that they would bring home additional antibiotics from their work for the cat.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm like, I don't think that Matt was potentially out of line in expressing concern.
Right. I feel like at the end of the day,
But again,
follow the
you don't want
professionals.
advice.
Whatever the professionals say,
We're not vets.
we're not vets. If a vet told me to do something, do what the vet says.
Comments. Comment 1. You may not like it, but Matt has a good point. Sometimes you need unsolicited and critical advice to see that maybe your efforts are not making the situation better. Comment 2. I don't know, it seems to me you're overreacting. Of course he could have voiced his thoughts better, but you were rude first. I wonder if Matt has posted a Reddit question asking how he could approach you about the way you spoke to him. LOL. OP replies. How was I rude first? Commenter 2 replied. He said, we shouldn't give her more antibiotics. There's nothing rude in that sentence. Then you responded by informing him of his ignorance and telling him it's not his decision to make. His comment wasn't rude, but your reaction to it was, which is what I was saying.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Oh, and that's the
That's
end
the
of
end of that story. Wow.
Yeah.
I think
Commenters, I think, was way more in agreement with like where my head was at. With
that
things.
makes sense. Yeah. And overall, that I think, like you said, everybody's high stressed right now
Right.
because of the cat, and that makes
Which
a lot of
totally
sense.
makes sense, and is especially why I could see that if Matt comes with this advice seemingly out of nowhere after like you are so upset that he really hasn't had much opinion or like care in the matter, that
Yeah.
you can take that to be just like, well, like don't like bash my knowledge on this subject, and you can come back a little harsh, which then leads him to come back harsher still and like way too like in your face kind of thing.
Right.
But like him very solidly stating something isn't necessarily the worst thing.
Again, for that OP, best of luck with your cat. Hopefully your cat is doing better.
Yeah. I feel like this could just be one big like
everything,
we can
everything.
apologize
I
and
think,
move on.
I feel like you should talk to Matt and be like, hey,
Yeah,
I get it.
Stress.
I'm stressed. You're stressed. I just want my cat to be okay. And
Yeah.
I guarantee you, he's like, I understand
and I was
that.
feeling a little too off put by your sudden like interest when I thought that you didn't really feel that way as much or didn't want as much care. And then maybe he'll come out with something and then a nice little conversation.
Yeah, and
then I hope your cat's okay.
yeah, I think everyone's just high emotion, high intensity,
100%.
and it's like no one's fault here. Like the suckiest thing is the cat's health. So, and we wish your cat to recover quickly and swiftly.
But that is the end of that story.
My sister eloped years ago, and now she's basically a stranger.
Takes one to know one.
Got him. 9 years ago, I was 18 at the time, my older sister eloped with her then boyfriend. Our parents, we are an immigrant family, were vehemently opposed to her relationship. I remember me being okay with it, personally, but it wasn't my place. She eloped with her boyfriend and cut off all contact with us. By the way, this comes from Substantial by 4881. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
And we are here to give good advice goofily. But we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know what you do in the comments. And OP says...
OP said that?
OP literally said that.
No way.
And I apologize if anyone has to hear that. My parents were beside themselves. I tried reaching out to her back then on different platforms, but was blocked. I even reached out to her best friends and asked them if they could at least get me in touch with her, and they said she didn't know where she lived now, but that she'd told them she was happy. She had also left her workplace. Eventually, we all, me and my parents, came to like an unspoken agreement. Eventually, we all, me and my parents, came to an unspoken agreement to pretend she was never here, and I blocked her everywhere too.
Dang.
That sounds toxic.
That's like a bad agreement to come to.
I can't imagine why your sister went no contact with everybody.
You went, well, we tried our best. She's gone forever now. She doesn't exist.
Yes, she was never born.
Sister? I never had a sister.
Sister? I hardly know her. I remember being extra particular to call regularly when I was in college because I was worried about their state of mind. We're now at a place where I can't remember the last time she crossed our minds. Yesterday, my sister knocked on my apartment door. She cried and hugged me when she saw me. I hugged her back initially, too. I wasn't really thinking at the time. She was just going on about how much I had changed, how much she'd missed me all these years. Eventually, I kind of remembered everything and asked her why she was here and who had given her my address. She said she had swore to them that she wouldn't tell. I asked her why she didn't call first, since whoever gave my address probably gave my number too. She said she just wanted to see me in person. I told her we'd gotten over her. Why was she here? Oof. She said her issue had only been with our parents, not me. I told her about how I'd been blocked too by her when she left. Yeah.
Can't really say, like, I didn't have an issue with you, even though I completely blocked you from my life.
Oof. This is a mess. She told me she was sorry she had hurt me, but she had wanted a fresh start. Told me I was an uncle to a nephew and a niece. They weren't there at the time. They were at their father's. They had recently divorced. She acted surprised that I wouldn't know. She said she'd told someone to tell our parents about them. You can't act surprised the people you've cut out of your life know nothing about your life.
It's like, what? But I sent a message in a bottle to one of my friends to give to our parents. That didn't come through?
Oh, it must have gotten picked up by the wrong current.
Ah, dang it.
Maybe it was hearing about the divorce that frustrated me more. Because if we were going to have gone through all this pain, at least she could have found lasting happiness. I just told her she was a stranger to me now. She said we could have lunch together, and she wanted to know all about what I had been up to, but I told her it was best if we continued to have no contact. She didn't act like an older sister when I needed her to, and that we were no longer family. We had mourned her already, and we were now strangers. She was tearful. She gave me her address and phone number and left. Last night, I spoke to my girlfriend about what had happened. She said she was still my sister and that I shouldn't have just turned her away. I told her she didn't know what we'd gone through in the days after she had eloped. But I still wanted to know here, am I the a-hole?
I don't think you're the a-hole at all. Do I think that maybe your sister really does want this relationship and perhaps it could be beneficial in the long run? Possibly. But you don't owe her anything.
Yeah, you don't owe the relationship considering she blocked you as
Yeah.
well, even though she said she had no problem with you.
My only thing is, I think that you kind of miss her too, as much as you
Yeah.
say, I've forgotten about her.
And
Because you
yeah.
hugged her. You said like immediately you hugged her.
Yeah, I think your unspoken coping mechanism that you guys developed
Mhm.
may be backfiring now. I think you should entertain the lunch and then decide from there what you want to do.
Completely agree.
But she was also moving so weird.
Yeah.
She didn't call you. She didn't message you. She just showed up at your front door. It's kind of like an ambush.
Yeah.
So,
But don't do that. Like, don't go into it with the mindset that, oh, I owe her something. Go into it with the mindset of, this could be good for me.
yeah. Yeah, like try to blank slate it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, we're at 0. Maybe we are strangers now. Let's see
Yeah.
where we can go from there. And there's an update from 4 days later. I had been emotionally drained almost after meeting my sister. Like I said, I had made my peace after a lot of hurt and futile hope that I would never see her again. She had my number and I hadn't blocked the new number of hers. I had thought about it and received advice too, but I just didn't. It slipped from my mind. She asked me on Tuesday how I was doing and asked if we could meet on Wednesday. She really wanted me to meet her kids. I was really conflicted. I didn't want to oblige her, but I decided to say yes to at least meet them. I went to her apartment yesterday and met my niece and nephew. My niece had recently turned 9 and my nephew is 6.
Wow.
They're great kids and I really enjoyed seeing them. I remember feeling a certain way when my sister was introducing me and she told him that the way he's my niece's younger brother, similarly, I'm her younger brother. We talked a bit and started talking about stories from us growing up. I hadn't and still haven't said everything's okay between us, but our stories and the conversation went smoothly. I learned that after she eloped and got married, she had moved in with her husband into his place in a town a few hours away from us. That was around 2019. That around 2019 they had moved to a city where we currently were. That around 2019 they had moved to the city we were currently in. According to her, though, she didn't know all this time that I later. Excuse me. According to her, she didn't know all this time that I later moved here for work after college, too. I told her about what I had been up to all these years, my college, my job, my girlfriend, etc. After that, the kids were in their room, and my sister brought up us all doing something again over the weekend. I told her we weren't okay, and she can't expect me to forget everything. She said she was sorry that her moving out had nothing to do with me. She said she was sorry and that moving out her moving out had nothing to do with me and that she missed me. But you blocked him.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, maybe so, but it still affected him. It still, hurt him. So regardless of your intention there, you can't really change how he took that.
Yeah, your sister is going to have to sit down and dine at the banquet of her consequence.
Yeah.
Boom. I was angry at the fact that she had no idea the pain I had gone through, both personally and then having to be the crutch for my parents' pain. I told her I didn't believe her that she would have been perfectly fine with never seeing me. I told her that I didn't believe her that she would have been perfectly fine with never seeing me again if she hadn't gotten divorced, and that I could have been passed away and she probably wouldn't have broken a sweat upon learning it, since she was so blissed out from her domestic life. I know it was ugly. I've never said anything like this, but in that moment, I just wanted her to feel some kind of hurt of the kind she had given me. Making bad moves all around.
Yeah, but also it's coming from a place of pain.
Understandable moves, but bad moves nonetheless.
Yeah, I think OP's just incredibly hurt and is lashing out. Which, like, my advice would always be to, like, speak calmly and logically and reasonably and blah, blah, blah. But can't really take that advice when you're coming from a place of this person abandoned me who I love deeply.
Yeah.
Um,
She broke down and said, I can hate her if I want, but to just not hate her forever, there has to be a limit. I regretted saying what I said when I saw her crying, so I just sat next to her and asked about why they had divorced. She told me that their life had been going all right the first few years. She said she'd even sent word through a mutual when the kids were born, which either the mutual messed up or my sister did because we never heard about it. Well, your parents might know, and they might have never told you.
Yeah.
That might be a thing.
I would be wondering about that.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of this hurt needs to, kind of, I mean, the responsible party, I think, would be your parents. Because they kind of like, I mean, your sister left, but then your parents fomented this kind of bitter hatred
Yeah, we
inside
can't
you.
talk about her ever.
Being like, yeah, she didn't exist. That's wild. She said when the vid happened, her marriage became bad and that it had uncovered a side of her ex she never knew. He became awful, had disdain for their son, revealed he used to record every single conversation of theirs, had convinced her she was crazy and a bad wife and mother, that she stuck with him because of the kids until she had enough, and that a very good neighbor of theirs whom she had become friends with gave her a lot of support and even helped line her up with a job. During all of this, she even blamed our parents for her sticking with the marriage for so long and for not reaching out.
Well, you blocked them on everything, so.
That's not their fault. That's kind of your fault, right?
I'm worried that this person hasn't really learned anything yet.
It feels like, well, that didn't work out, so now I can just go back to the people I completely abandoned.
Yeah.
I told her they had literally pleaded with her not to do this. I was there. I was 18, not 8. She said they told her she was passed away to them if she ran off with him, and so she blamed them for her not being able to leave him. I told her that was insane logic, and she just didn't want to talk about them, and asked me not to tell them about her. I said, yeah, her relationship with them is her own. I also asked her who had given her my address. She begged me not to ask that they hadn't given it easily, and she'd had to swear secrecy and cry and convince them that I'd want to see my older sister, so I dropped it. And by the way, you never have to drop listening to full episodes with stories like this, because you can find them wherever you listen to podcasts. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just search OK Storytime, and you've got a mountain of stories to listen to.
So many.
And there's a little bit left of this story. It's where does the blame lie? Like, whose fault is it? I don't even know if any of that matters anymore.
No.
I think what matters is that this, person who's your sister is back. And regardless of whose fault it is that everything went wrong or that her marriage didn't work or that she never reached back out again, it's like you got to just decide, like, is this something you want to entertain or not? Yeah,
maybe put up boundaries and say, hey, we're not going to be besties right now. I like seeing your kids. That's something I want to do, but this is where I draw the line. This is my boundaries. I would like you to work on yourself. Therapy, so you don't do this again whenever things get hard.
That would probably be a good start. We had tea and snacks after that, and she asked me again if I wanted to do anything this weekend since she has the kids, or we could do something the weekend after, just the two of us. And I said, I don't know. She was okay with that answer. She was tearful again when I was leaving. We hugged, and I hugged the kids goodbye too. My mind has been a mess since then. I lashed out and everything, but also regret what I said. But then I also try to remember how I had felt back then and get angry again. It feels so weird knowing that she's now 20 minutes away from me and we can visit whenever. I told my girlfriend about all this and she said she supports me no matter what, but in her opinion, to consider the weekend plan with a cool mind. I do think that like it's important to just think about right now.
Yeah.
If you think about how you felt back then yeah, you're gonna feel like that. But you're not back then anymore. You are the you of today. And what the you of today wants doesn't necessarily need to be informed by the pain that we felt in the past. Not always.
It's a good point.
This got long, I apologize, but I've been trying to collect my own thoughts on this, and writing this just seemed to help. Thank you for the help. And there are some relevant comments here. Famous Rooster 27-1 says, I'm glad you and your sister talked. I'm late to the party, but I was in a similar boat recently. My sister is now married to a woman, so good luck, OP. That's a great moment to at least hear one another out on what's happened, one another's view that doesn't mean on what's happened, one another's view that doesn't mean you are forced to do anything, but at least you have the ability to decide if this is something you could pursue. My sister came from a DV relationship, and so did I. The fact that we're both still alive and able to talk about our crappy parents is a huge support beam in my system. She is still recovering, and so am I, but we have one another, and she had her awesome wife. Just take some time off the internet and enjoy a day where you relax. Go out for a nice coffee and lunch, maybe to the park, all on your own, and just think. Allow yourself to cry in your car. Talk to yourself. A you day with self-care, or maybe a day and cuddled up inside with warm pillows. Creating, drawing, but I recommend getting out of the house and off the internet. Dopamine, media detox for a day, basically, and let yourself feel and think. OP responds, I'm going to try to clear my mind. Thanks. I've been thinking this again and again that I should do what makes me happy. And maybe that is being able to reconnect with her and her kids. And then I think that's letting her off too easy. I was in pain back then trying to reach out. What about that? It's been emotionally taxing. Your advice about taking some time off is good. And that is the end of that story.
I think that's a great idea. I think taking time off to think about what you need, what you want is always good.
Yeah, can't deny that. But I think you should maybe bring that up to your sister, that it's like, I'm really mixed up because I want to, reconnect with you. But then I think back to how I felt when you just ghosted us. And I feel like, the two wolves inside me are fighting. Like
the wolves, they're howling.
They're howling. One's howling that you suck, and one's howling that
I miss my sister.
Maybe she doesn't suck. I miss my sister.
I miss my sister.
Oh, but that is the end of that story.
Sure is.
And we've got another one.
Sure do. My parents disowned me for my past. Now they'll never meet their grandson.
Ooh.
Trigger warning. Did you want to say something?
I just, ooh.
Trigger warning for substances. In 2020, I, 30, did something horrible to my family by stealing from them to fund my regular use problem. I stole some electronics, including old cell phones, a game console, and a Blu-ray player to buy female hero?
Heroin.
I stole some electronics, including old cell phones, a game console, and a Blu-ray player to buy substances. I cannot and will not justify these actions and fully accept them as my own and their consequences. By the way, this comes from Moose External 6886, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I was caught, and my family became aware of my regular use. It was hard to see my parents realize what was happening, but the hardest was seeing how heartbroken my 17-year-old little sister was. They dropped me off at a rehab center where I spent 3 months getting detoxed and sober. I did not hear from them while I was in there. I tried calling them to let them know how I was, but I never received an answer. The day I got out, I went back home. My family there informed me that they would no longer be considering me a member of the family and that I was to leave the home and not contact any of them for any reason.
So that feels like a misstep on their part.
I just don't understand the simultaneous, we're sending you to rehab so you can get help. And then also, now that you've got help, we're not talking to you ever again.
Yeah. We really loved that Blu-ray player.
I attempted to stay with other family, but when I contacted my grandparents, I was told that my parents had called them and several others to tell them that if they kept contact with me in any capacity, they would cut off contact with them as well. I was able to see how my sister was doing via my mother's Facebook posts, but after liking one, I was messaged and told that I am allowed to look at the posts, but all other family members will be blocking me and I am not to interact with my mother's posts. I was completely destroyed and left on the streets.
Yeah, not a great, like, you're going to send him to rehab and then immediately make him homeless? Like, right after he recovered from a substance use disorder? Like,
that literally
you're just going to throw him back into it.
I stayed in a homeless shelter and got a menial job, enough to get a rundown apartment, and slowly put my life together. I went through therapy to process the extreme guilt I felt. I focused on work, did online school, enough to finish my degree from when I dropped out at 21. I was able to secure myself at a very good position, several states away, and move there as soon as I could. 3 years ago, I met the woman who is now my wife. Her father went through a similar struggle with regular use, and her family welcomed me with open arms. Last year, we got married, and 3 months ago, we welcomed our son into the world. Of course, being a proud new dad, I posted my boy all over social media to show him off to the world. Since then, I have been inundated with calls and messages telling me that my parents want to meet my son. No. Remember when you said that I could never talk to you again?
That is the most insane thing I could have possibly heard.
Wow. I have no plans to allow that. My family abandoned me at my lowest and actively worked to cut me off from any familial support I could have had. I am not owed forgiveness for my actions, but I cannot pretend that what they did was anything less than complete disownment of me at my most vulnerable. I told them, not very politely, that I do not consider them my real family, and that they are to come nowhere near me, my wife, our son, or anyone related to us. I have been getting messages daily about how I never earned their love back, and am cheating them out of having a son again. And thus I owe this to them from my parents and others.
Hey, so fun fact, I was still your son. So you kind of cheated yourself out of this.
Yeah, because you disowned me. And you never checked in. I am not giving in at all, nor do I ever plan to. Am I the a-hole? And there is an edit. But no.
I'm climbing up to the top of like the Matterhorn and I'm screaming no
at
the top of my lungs.
They literally only have come back because they want to see their grandson. That's it. They don't care about you. There have been a lot of replies along a broad spectrum of opinions and takes. I may not have replied to them all, but I did read them. For now, I'm stepping back. My wife and I have decided that we are going to be speaking with my parents via a video call and discussing the past 5 years and where everyone stands as of today to gauge where we all are and decide how to move forward. I will be taking everything I have read here into consideration in how I decide to approach this situation. I have seen a lot of people wanting updates. I will post an update on this when the dust is settled, and I can say with some certainty what is going to be happening. Thank you all for your words of kindness and otherwise. Every one of them is appreciated. And there is an update. A little bit back, I posted a thread on the sub. Okay. I wanted to add clarity to one part, is that my family did not pay for my stay in rehab. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, well that makes a little bit more sense why they were so willing to drop you then.
Yeah, that
because I was wondering why you would pay for rehab and then just completely abandon.
Well, I was thinking that it was like, well, yeah, you cost us so much money and you stole from us and blah, blah, blah. But it almost makes it make even less sense in a way.
I was making less than $20,000 per year, and my employer only offered an HSA for health benefits. So I qualified for Medicaid and had been on that since I moved out of the house. Medicaid in my state pays for the cost of inpatient rehab, and this is how my treatment was funded. For the sake of brevity, and so that I do not dwell on it longer than I should, I will briefly run through some relevant context and a short summary of what my father expressed to me during our conversation. To add some context that I think explains his mindset, I will give some of my father's history here. He came from China to the U.S. to attend college and fell in love with the country. My father hates China and communism. He saw America as a land where he could have the opportunity to thrive in ways he could not in his home country. So he married an American woman and stayed here, starting his own business.
He married an American woman.
Yeah. My father's dream was that one day he would pass this business down to his son, then to his grandson, continually passed down as his legacy. He was very much a tiger parent, and my mother, having always been very submissive, followed suit. I had been told from a young age that this is what my future would be, and my life was curated around it, down to what university I would attend and my major. All of this will give context to my father's position. The call was just me, my wife, and my father. It was a long and awkward conversation, but here is the gist of it. My father regards my bisexuality and my biness and my decision to not finish college as direct actions of ungratefulness to his efforts in raising me, and feels that I have not been thankful that he did not take action against me earlier. Me being bi still left room to marry a woman and have children, so he didn't interfere with it. He could still teach me how to manage the business, even if I needed to hire others to help with the physical labor involved with it. So he got past the fact that I dropped out of college. I'm sorry, he's coming at you and he's like, you disappointed me. Everything you've done has been awful and terrible, but you could still help with the family business.
Yeah, you can still
You're welcome.
pass on my legacy.
You're welcome. No, OP's doing fine without you. He doesn't need to work for you and then be under your thumb even more.
He pulled himself up by his bootstraps.
So
And made a whole life for himself.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a part of it anymore. Just like you didn't want to be a part of it when he needed you.
Yeah, you just say, oh, I really wish I could, but you did disown me. So, however, it was not the stealing that broke the camel's back to him. It's the fact that I used substances at all. He was upset that I had stolen from the house, but to him, it was ultimately inconsequential compared to me abusing a substance. The fact that I used substances at all meant that I could not be trusted with his legacy. And since I could not contribute to the family legacy, it was necessary to cut me out of the family entirely to avoid the shame of having a regular user among them. He made it clear that this is how he felt then, and that his feelings have not changed, nor will they ever change, no matter how clean I stay or how successful I become because I ruined his dream. I'm sorry, so he's coming to you and saying, so I still feel the exact same way about you, but I am here because I need your grandson. I need my grandson.
Your dad sucks.
Your dad sucks. Despite this, I owe him a debt of gratitude by leaving the family vacant of a son to pass his legacy down. Now that I have a son of my own, there is a potential my father's legacy could be passed down to him. As someone who used substances, this necessitates him and my mother stepping in to ensure my son is properly raised into the position I was to inherit. You're not going to be anywhere around my son. No.
What is just a psycho position to take?
Yeah. I did not get to speak to my mother to ask her about the messages she had sent me. The call ended pretty abruptly when my wife realized that it was not a conversation that would go anywhere. I was in a bad spot for the weekend after that Friday night. I cannot express with words how thankful I am that my wife was there to help me stay sane. I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing every possible thing I can to be as much of a rock for her as she is for me. Right now, most of that is in the form of taking on any and all housework in addition to doing my part to take care of the baby while her body recovers. As our son grows up, I'll be finding new ways to let her know how much I appreciate her. As for the future, this is what we've decided. On my part, I'm going to work a lot less. For those wondering, I ended up being a technical writer, and it's a job I'm quite good at. It also pays for us to live very comfortably, even if I go well below a full-time work schedule. When I met my wife, I used work as my distraction. Marco Pierre White was correct when he said work is the best painkiller mankind has ever come up with.
Yo, shout out Chef Marco Pierre White.
Oh, yeah, sure. I don't know who that is. However, I do not think this is a healthy way to cope now that I have a child. That's good on you. You're getting it.
Dude, you are better
Yeah.
than you could have ever been
Yeah.
living in your father's
Oh, yeah.
home and shadow. It
I
is
mean,
a blessing in disguise that
absolutely.
you got out of that.
Well, I mean, even though OP said, like, they had the whole life plan for him. And the second that he deviated from that, they disowned him. I have decided I will use the extra time off of work to attend an extra therapy session every week for more intensive treatment and to help develop some better coping mechanisms that do not involve me working myself into an early grave. As for our son, we have decided that my parents will not be a part of his life for the foreseeable future. Yeah. We are not sure what we will tell him, but as he grows up and we see more of his personality, we plan to speak with a counselor who has experience in child psychology to find a way to approach the subject that will not be distressing or confusing for him. But you shouldn't be confused about listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
I think you've done a great job building your life for
agree.
yourself.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
You've like come so far as a, just individual, but also as a father. You clearly care so much about your son.
Yeah.
And just, stopping that generational trauma in
Yeah.
its tracks.
And as a partner.
Yeah.
Great partner.
Oh, yeah.
Recognizing that the only thing that has kept you afloat has been your wife's support.
Mhm.
And you want to pay her back for that. Great job.
Great job. 10 out of 10. But OP finishes. A lot of people mentioned the idea of me taking my wife's name. We floated that for a bit, but ultimately we have decided that we will be choosing a new family name entirely. Interesting. It feels like more of a fresh start for a new legacy. We're not sure which name we will go with yet, but we hope to have that done by the end of the year. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, you should do something really cool
Yeah.
like Flumpelstein.
Dragon Prince.
Yes, we are the Von Draconas.
And honestly, that's pretty much it. There's not much else to report. I know the man that I have become. I know I am a capable father and a loving husband. I know I have a disease that puts me at a disadvantage when it comes to anyone's trust or respect because of my choices in the past. And I know that despite them, I will continue to be the best man I can be for my family. That's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Really love.
You should take the last name Flumplebutt.
Yeah, take that last name.
That's a good one.
It's a good one.
We've used that one around here a lot.
Oh yeah, it's made rounds.
Senior Flumplebutt.
Mm-hmm. But that is the end of that story, folks, and we'll get right into the next one.
Flumplebutt. My mother used my brother to pressure me for money, so I went off.
That's a weird way to get money.
I, 17 female, even weirder to press your 17-year-old daughter for money, have been trying to save up money for when I move out in a month to share an apartment with my boyfriend. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Get after it.
I'm not your parent, so I don't have any relevant feelings about that.
She's almost at adulthood, and she's so excited for it.
If I was your parent, I would be a little concerned. I'm going to go to university, and my dad's offered help, but I know when I'm not in control of my own money, knowing when or how I'm getting it, I get really anxious about spending because I used to have really bad spending habits. By the way, this comes from user fuzzycharacter4111, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give you good advice goofily.
Yup.
But we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do, so let us know what you would do down in the comments. And OP says, God bless. My little brother, 15 male, is autistic. It isn't a severe case where he's nonverbal or can't change or do anything for himself. At best, you'd think he's a little dorky.
Those were mostly the autistic kids at my school. They were just a little dorky.
Yeah, autism's a spectrum. My mother has been known to not be the best about spending her money despite having government assistance, and my dad constantly giving her money to fix her other money mistakes that she made with his money.
Ooh.
Money. I'm not fully sure what's going on with all that, and I think I'll get stressed if I ask my dad to explain it to me. All this is sort of just context for the situation. I'm also not mad at my brother, as he stuck up for me before anyone else asks about that.
Okay, so what's the issue?
Yeah, basically, My mom reached out to me while I was sleeping over at my boyfriend's and asked where I would be working. It was really out of the blue. She started asking how much money I'd be making and how often I'd be home once I moved out. I kind of caught on that she was asking for money. I tried to gently remind her that I'm saving up to pay rent in a little bit and starting to pay for my own things without an allowance. Then she asked if I could ask my dad to send me an allowance and just lie and say I'm not working.
Ooh, I think I see where her money habits are coming from.
This is giving me gambling problem vibes.
Yeah?
That's what it's giving me. Giving me the vibes of, yeah, ask your dad for an allowance, then lie and say you don't have a job so that you can give me the allowance.
Yikes. Yeah, what are we doing with this money? Or some nose candy?
Yeah, something is wrong. I flat out said no and laughed. She sort of huffed and said she struggles with buying presents for my little brother since his birthday was last week and the things that autistic people like are really expensive.
Dude, I'm going to name one thing an autistic person will love that costs nothing.
Rocks.
A box.
A box of rocks. Call it the rock box.
Dude.
Boom.
What? Maybe the only expensive thing an autistic person would like is a computer because there's so many things you can do with it.
Yeah, or just really elaborate Lego sets.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff, Yeah,
but
I love rocks, man. I've literally got a whole bunch of them spread out on my countertop in my bathroom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, aesthetically laid out.
Oh, that's nice.
And they're like memories, too. It's like I got some from Bali.
Oh,
like
really?
The coin I found on the beach.
Oh, you got some of those rocks?
Yep.
I used to collect rocks, and then one cut me, and I was like, "Oh, I don't like rocks."
They
were quartz. They were the quartz ones.
Oh, did you hunt them, or did you
No,
I know that the East Coast you can kind of hunt for quartz out there.
Yeah, I think other people hunted it for me. Like my pastor, to wherever I went, he was like, "Hey, I got you something," and it was that, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh, wow.
And then I cut myself with it, and I was like, "Yo, I'm so cool."
The rock has betrayed me.
Yeah.
Anyway. I told her that was the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I second that.
There we go.
Huh?
Yeah. Third, I said not everything revolves around his disability. I was trying to say he's his own person. He isn't a person with autism. He is Ryan, which is a fake name and not his real name.
It's my brother's name. It might be about my brother.
Could be your brother. Your brother loves rocks. Which is what I was going to say, but I thought she wouldn't really understand that since she zones out when I try to explain things for too long. So it came out weird.
That's where the gambling stuff comes in.
Yeah, she's like, I need the spinning wheels. I can't focus. Where's my slot machine? She hung up, and 5 minutes later, my brother called me and asked if I was mad at him.
What?
I said no and asked what was wrong because sometimes he just asks me that. So I wasn't fully assuming it was the phone call. He said my mother told him that I said he wasn't important enough to have my money.
No. Oh, she's weaponizing your brother.
Your mom sucks. What is your dad doing?
Oh my gosh. Are
Oh
they
my
still
God.
together?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He kept insisting he doesn't want my money and that he likes me being his sister without that. This made me furious, but not at him, of course. I explained what happened, and he said it was weird, and he's sorry, and he doesn't want present money from me. Yeah. Well, no, it's like, yeah, you explain, and he goes, "Oh no, that's weird. You don't have to buy my presents. Our mom is weird."
Dang.
And I second that, good sir. Your mother is a freak. We talked for a little bit, and it was fine. When we hung up, I called my mother back. She tried to go off at me again, but I yelled that it was horrible for her to say that to my little brother, and honestly, I just kept yelling. Anytime she tried to talk, I just yelled, which is what I feel bad about because then she got upset and called my dad. My dad called me to ask if I was okay, but I was still mad, so I told him she was asking me to lie to get extra money, and he's also mad at her now.
I know you're like, hey, maybe we should chill out before we explode, but in this scenario, she's done this a lot of times. It feels like she's in the right for yelling.
Well, yeah, no, you're 17. She tried to manipulate your brother to like sabotage your I don't know, your relationship. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then, all this is probably coming from some place that she's upset that you're moving out or something. Who knows?
Do you think that they should? Do you think OP should have yelled, or do you think she should have went about it calmly?
Well, the thing is, in an argument, as soon as you yell, you lose power.
Oh.
I think we just said it on another story today, but it's like you can make understandable moves. Like, it's very understandable that you would be really upset and yell and be angry, but it's not necessarily the right move. But it is totally understandable and reasonable. Like, given your age and the situation, I would be fuming if I was you as well. She's been texting me saying her whole house is mad at her now and that she's sad she couldn't rely on me. Sounds like you're trying to deflect your actions and consequences onto OP.
Not fun.
She asked me to stay at my boyfriend's house for a couple nights because she wanted space, and my boyfriend said it's fine. I'm really conflicted now because I thought I was in the right for how I felt, but now seeing how much it affected her, I just feel like a huge a-hole. It's because your mother is manipulating you. She's probably been doing it for a long time, and she's really good at it.
Ding, 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 ding.
My brother is telling me he still thinks it was weird and mean of her to try to get money out of me using the excuse of him being autistic. Me and my dad are very close, but he hates to argue with my mom, so we haven't really talked since my mom asked for space. Did you tell your dad that she tried to pit your brother against you for not giving her money?
I think he doesn't like to argue because it just causes a lot of issues in the house, and he seems non-confrontational.
Yeah, my take would be he doesn't want to argue because when you argue, you realize, oh, I shouldn't be with this person.
Probably.
And I can't imagine staying with a partner who would do that to our kids.
Yeah.
Over money.
And is really bad with money.
Yeah, like I know my mom struggles with money, and it makes her feel incompetent at times, as she's expressed to me. These reactions are making me doubt my behavior. I know I'm at least a bit of an a-hole for raising my voice, but am I the a-hole? And just to clarify, my parents are not divorced or split up, and they still live together.
Oh, man.
And we do have some comments here, but
I think you need to develop some sort of neurodivergence so then you can defend your mom against your mom being like, well, Mom, I have worse autism. I can't give you money.
Yeah, I can't give you money. I'm buying all of these weighted blankets.
Yes.
I can't afford it. My weighted blanket budget is stretched to its absolute minimum.
You would understand.
Maximum.
Because I'm worse autistic.
Yeah.
That might get through to her.
I think.
Or you have, a little video of slot machines while you talk to her up on your phone.
Really, at 17, I can't imagine trying to actually take the steps to address and fix this level of because that dynamic is messed up.
It's messed up.
That dynamic is not right.
And that's your parent, and you seem more mature than your parent.
Yeah, you really do.
I'm glad that's not the case for me. I don't know what would happen if that was the case for me.
I think
really
one
sad.
big thing, you're 17, one big thing is you need to focus on learning how to cope with stress and anxiety because it's going to happen forever. Life is full of it. Yeah. And being able to handle it and approach stuff is very important. But you're 17, so it makes sense. But yeah. Let's get into these comments. Ducky Glow says, not the a-hole. I don't see a problem in a parent asking their kid for money, but the manipulation and the lie to your brother was terrible. Also, she wanted you to lie to your father to give her the money. Why can't she ask him directly? Well, because he'd say no, of course.
Yeah, there was mentions of it before.
Yeah. OP says, I think she didn't want to ask him because she gave him several debts he had to pay off, and that was very stressful for him. And he sort of put restrictions on money she can borrow. Responsible Fly 1216 says, not the a-hole. Your mom is the a-hole. If possible, go live with your dad, but they live together. OP says, unfortunately, my parents still live together. I wish my little brother could live with my dad as well. They argue a lot, and my brother overall just hates living there, but obviously doesn't really have a choice. Malphus43 says, what's the plan for your brother once he's an adult? Will your mom ever let him have any independence, or does she see him as disability money?
Oh, that
So,
sucks.
it's so sad that she's even
That's a reality.
that's even close to like a potential train of thought for her. OP says, I'm not sure. He's still a bit away from moving out. I'm assuming she'd want him to stay for a while, but he's expressed the idea to me of how much he'd love having his own space. And OP replies to a big comment. Thank you so much. Also, yes, he gave her a spending limit because she had given my dad debts. I don't know how to explain, but basically she spent his money into oblivion. He would give her $2,500 to $5,000 monthly for extra spending money on things for my brother, but her extra spending money is now $300, and he just personally gets things for my brother if he needs them.
Oh my gosh.
What did she? It's got to be gambling.
Gambling.
I'm betting gambling.
I had some family members, and all they would do would always go to Walmart, buy things, Amazon, buy things. All these places just buy.
Buying crap.
Yeah. Like they went to my grandma's house and bought fans and clothes and all these other stuff. And bought like my grandma's dog a bed. And he doesn't like sleeping on a bed.
Just a bunch of useless crap.
Yeah. And sometimes I get afraid, like, ooh, am I just buying this just because I don't want it?
I've bought useless crap for sure,
Yeah.
but not $5,000 worth of useless
a
crap.
month.
Yeah, that's next level.
It's a habit.
Most of my useless crap I very much enjoy. Like the spinny cube I bought in Bali. That's useless, but I like it.
What was the useless crap I bought? I don't know.
I feel like you're pretty utilitarian.
I try to be. You'd be surprised. When buying for other people, I spend so much money on other people. It's bad. Having a
Okay.
girlfriend does not help.
Yeah, no, girlfriend money is a whole new level.
Oh my gosh.
I've been learning that. Okay. So her extra spending money is now $300, and he just personally gets things for my brother if he needs them. I think I'll ask my dad to meet up and talk about the things she said to my brother, along with my concerns for other things. I think that addresses most questions and advice in this comment, and my brother will be getting that fist bump. Heck yeah, dude. Sibling fist bumps? Let's go.
You'd
Another.
never know.
Oh, no?
You'd never know what that's like.
Oh. OP, does your mother have a history of substance use disorder? But absolutely not the a-hole. Regardless, she is way out of line. OP responds.
Here we go.
She had been in rehab once before my brother was born, but when my father told me this, he said it wasn't for very long. So probably,
Ooh.
hopefully not the issue, but she's certainly moving like it might be the issue.
Yeah.
Another reply to a comment is, my mother was working and then quit. I do not know why, but it does not sound like she was let go. So then my dad was the main income person, eventually got a promotion, then when I was 12, bought the place he was working at and one of its other franchises. I hope that makes sense because I really don't know anything about all his business stuff. But then basically she had been saving her work money while she had a job, took it out for one nice day out, then eventually all the money she had was gone. And that was when she started asking my dad for money for important things, then using it on random crap she didn't really need or things that weren't essential. Another commenter, Repulsive Egg, says, info, does she hoard?
Ooh.
That's a good one. I wasn't thinking about that.
This is a good question.
OP says, I'd say no from what I can see. Well, you'd know. If you're living with your mom and she was a hoarder, you'd probably know. The things that she spends her money on are either one-use things or things she sees on the internet or that her friends have or that her friends have that she throws out 2 weeks later because she doesn't like the items anymore. Has your mom heard of returns? I guess the only things she keeps are like makeup, clothes that she buys with the money. But I wouldn't say all that is hoarding. And there is an update from 9 days later.
OP, a magic fairy comes by and you get an apology from your mother and everything works out.
Man, I sure hope so. I hope this doesn't go into, so I found out my mom has substance use disorder still. And and that's why she can't have any money to spend on herself.
Have you been talking to that angry troll down that bridge? That's something that angry troll would say.
Yeah, the angry troll down the bridge is her dealer. He's in a trench coat.
That would be funny. I really would have ChatGPT that now so I could see what that looks like.
The image of that?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. We got 9 days later update. So for the comments who had said it seems like my mother had a substance use disorder, you're not wrong.
Yeah, we called it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Host.
No, not
host,
no, I'm not.
Host high five.
Not high fiving.
Host
that.
bump.
No.
Come on.
I refuse.
This is the closest thing you'll get to a sibling bump.
I refuse to fist bump someone's mom having a problem with substance use.
I'm not fist bumping that. I'm fist bumping that we were right. It's different.
This feels so wrong.
It's fist bump to you, viewer.
Oh, okay. It did feel good. Mom got arrested the other night for driving under the influence.
Oh my gosh.
Fist bump for that.
We didn't call that one, so.
It turns out my aunt had been sending her hundreds to near thousands a month for what she thought was special needs equipment, but was actually for ketamine.
Oh my gosh. Yo. I have an okay story time after this.
Yeah?
Something
About that?
about my aunt. Something similar happened to her like this.
Oh, lordy.
Yeah.
After the fight about the money, nearly her whole side of the family was against me, and I still wasn't allowed back home.
What?
This made her and Dad fight heaps because he wanted me home, but my mom was literally refusing and was saying she would call the police if I showed up. Then she got arrested. That's extra
Okay.
funny because as a 17-year-old, you are remanded to your parents' care.
Yeah.
She can't call the police on you coming home.
Yep. That's in book 2, chapter 17, section 5.3.
Of big law. My dad called me and said I can come home from my boyfriend's. I asked if mom had calmed down, and he was like, no, she's been doing ketamine in this house every night and just got in a car accident.
Got karma.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. So she's not here, which means I'm here. Get my butt over there. And that was it. To be fair, everyone in my house has just sort of embraced it. I don't know how to explain it. I didn't expect her to be doing substances. I was surprised, but not stunned, and don't know how else to explain it.
Well, if
You're shocked.
she's spending a lot of money and she's not hoarding, like there's not a bunch of stuff, like things coming around, money's going somewhere.
Yeah. I wonder if she was like even throwing out those other things she was buying online, or if she was like reselling them to get cash.
I think
Because it's like, oh,
I
I
don't
bought
think-
this with my husband's money. Oh, but I don't want it anymore. Then you just sell it on the street for cash that
You
can't be
could.
traced back to the bank account.
I don't think she was doing that because of how many faucets of, or like, how do I explain it? How much cash flow she had from other people. She like,
Oh yeah, I go with the
Yeah.
aunt, I guess.
she
Yeah,
didn't really need to do that.
yeah. I forgot she was scamming the aunt. Totally forgot about that. Her and my dad are finally splitting up.
Oh, right.
Probably for the best. My brother is handling this all right, I guess. I mean, better than most, I would think. His response was mostly just, oh, and listening to what we said about the things happening next, how mom wasn't going to be around much anymore at all, etc. But by the way, something that's around at all times are the full episodes with stories like this one you can listen to on your favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Wherever you're listening to podcasts, all you got to do is search OK Storytime,
Boom.
and you can listen to it all.
Day long.
We've got a little more story left.
Wow, that One of the sad predictions we've made.
Let this be a lesson.
How?
Sometimes you gotta argue with your wife. Not in a trifling way, but in a like a, hey, we have to have a difficult conversation.
Hey, are you doing ketamine?
Right? Yeah, and whatever. Like, just like a, you know, when you see things, you can't just be like, oh, I don't like fighting. It's like,
hey, pee in this cup.
yeah.
I'm just gonna, you know.
Yeah, what was up with you being zonked out on the sofa the other day? It just
at 2:30,
and you were like grasping at the sky. I don't know why. Oh no, I don't know. I must have been sleepwalking. Anyway, she's tried texting and calling a few times, but I texted her one time, a big paragraph, basically just letting her know I'm done. I maybe would have been able to forgive her if she didn't drag my dad down with her and spend every dime along his bloodline and have substances in the house where my brother was. I don't care to know if she's going to jail or something. Even if she gets clean and has a come to Jesus moment or something, I really don't care to know her. I think that sums everything up. Sorry it's short, maybe melodramatic. Not for me, obviously. But again, thank you for all the advice. Have a good day.
I have an okay story time.
Yeah, and there's one comment here. OKBit 1981. Has any of your mom's family apologized? OP says, my aunt, but I just told her I don't accept the apology, and I'm not talking to her either. Everyone else is either standing on what they said, or my dad is saying they're too embarrassed to reach out. But I just think they really don't care.
Aww.
Now, I think your dad's right. I think people don't want to be wrong, and then when they are undoubtedly wrong, it's embarrassing.
If someone has heard something about you, and they don't ask for your perspective, they've already made up their mind.
That is true.
Dude, but my okay story time?
Yes.
That aunt that would spend a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
her son stole like $80,000 from her and her family.
80 big ones?
Mm-hmm.
What, just through
Credit cards.
Dang.
So he would open up credit
and
cards
he would
in
just
their name.
buy and he would just buy whatever he wanted.
And he'd do other messed up stuff, like he co-signed for one of his friend's cars. And he was like, hey, so I'm co-signing, you give me the money and I'll pay them that. And I'll make sure that you get your car payments in. Friend's like, okay. Then send him like $300, $400 a month.
And he never sent it in.
Never sent it in. His car got repossessed one day and was like, what happened? Turns out that's what happened. And since he co-signed,
how did he co-sign? What bank is letting him co-sign? He's just, what is his job? I steal thousands of dollars from my freaking
police officer.
Mom.
That was his job.
He had a job as a police officer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he was all about that. Dude, one of the weirdest things he's ever done was I played Monopoly, and I was winning. I had some pretty good spots.
Is he your age?
No, he's like 10 years older than me.
Okay.
We do not talk to him anymore. He's like exiled.
I would expect so, yeah.
But like he was like motioning at his gun. He's like, well, I can take that back if I wanted. And I was like, I'm 12.
What?
After that, never hung out with him. Never was ever around him.
Is the bad cop.
Yeah, he was horrible.
Oh my God.
He was horrible. Like, horrible human.
I wonder if he's gotten arrested.
There's so many other things he's done that's just like,
oh my.
I probably shouldn't even told that one.
Yeah.
That one was bad. But yeah, horrible person.
Well, we've got another story coming right up.
My stepsister nearly cut me off because I didn't check on her pregnancy.
Well, what are you, her doctor?
So this all started in November 2024 when my now ex-husband, male 34, got promoted to a new position through his company. But it meant us packing up our house and moving to another state. He left for the new state shortly after he got the promotion in November, while I, female 33, stayed back and worked on packing our home and prepping it for sale. By the way, this comes from Wampa Wampa Fruit. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I am Savannah.
Wampa Wampa, I'm Dakota.
And Wampa Wampa, we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only would tell you what we would do in this situation, so please let us know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, in March 2025, I was finally going to be able to move with him into our new home after months of packing. the process of selling our old home, looking for our new home, and transferring jobs. On moving day, no less. He told me he had been cheating on me the past 3 months. Whoa!
Well, at least he's honest.
I mean, yeah, the last day possible.
Ah.
Obviously, this threw my whole world into complete chaos. When I found out, I told everyone in my family. I decided I deserved better and wanted a divorce. Yes, as you should. This was very, very hard. We were together for 13 years, and he was all I ever knew. My life as I knew it was over, and I was incredibly depressed and heartbroken during this time.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do? That is your whole life. I had never been on my own before him, and it took a few months before I could stand on my own 2 feet again. But I was able to get away from him, move to a new state, and start my life over. It was challenging, but I did it, and I'm glad I did. Now, I'm happy to say I have a very loving boyfriend, and I have never been happier. Oh, good.
Oh,
Good.
yeah. Heck yeah, dude.
As you should. One person in particular I talked to about everything was my stepsister, female 29. We have never been super close in my eyes. We only really reached out to each other during holidays and birthdays, occasionally one of us calling to check in. But beyond that, I never really thought we were that close. This wasn't a bad thing, and I still care about her. It's just that we never really hung out outside of a family gathering, talked much on the phone, or even texted. I found out around the same month I asked for a divorce. She told me her and her husband were pregnant, which was wonderful news, just at a bad time in my life. The divorce didn't happen overnight and took a few months even after I moved to finalize paperwork, work through lawyer issues, and sell the house. I moved in June and started to get settled into my first apartment in a new state. I had many low times during all this where I felt depressed, stressed, isolated, and abandoned by a lot of people in my life. Not only had my husband abandoned me, but my dad stopped talking to me altogether. Oh. Very few people reached out to me aside from my best friend, mom, and stepmom, who I talked to once a week. They, alongside my new relationship, kept me moving forward. It did hurt that not many other people reached out during this time because it definitely was not easy. Fast forward to October 2025. Whoa, this is like right now. Fast forward to October 2025, and I get vacation time and can go to my home state to visit family for the first time since everything went down in March. I also go to my stepsister's baby shower.
Baby shower.
Baby shower.
Oh,
It's in
little
italics.
baby shower.
Baby shower. Which my stepmom had excitedly been giving me updates about this entire time when we talked on the phone. It was great to see my stepsister. Am I all right? Stepsister.
Stepsister.
Stepsister. All right. It was great to see my stepsister and her hubby. While I was there, everything seemed normal. We all talked and joked. I got to feel the baby punt, and it was just a wonderful time. Smiles all around. After the party, I spoke with my dad, who was now talking to me again after 6 months no contact. Who told me that my stepsister... Why can't I say it? Who told me that my stepsister said she was actually ready to write me out of her life if I didn't show up to the shower because I hadn't reached out to her during her whole pregnancy. I thought this was strange coming from her and didn't sound right, so I reached out to her and asked myself if she actually felt this way. To my surprise, she said yes, because I hadn't reached out to her to check in during a stressful time in her life, which is ironic. This immediately made me upset because she also had not reached out to me during one of the most stressful times of my life either.
So, it looks like we're holding on to the scoreboard now.
Mm-hmm.
That's an easy way for everyone to lose, from my understanding.
It's like, well, I'm not mad at you for not reaching out. Well, I'm mad at you for not reaching out. Well, let's just never reach out. Okay.
So what you should ask is, what do you want out of this relationship with your sister? What connection do you want? What, instead of it being like, well, this is fair, this is even. You weren't there for me, so I won't be there for you.
Yeah, or trying to like compare like, well, I'm going through a hard time. Well, I was going through a hard time. Well, my time was harder. Your
Yeah.
time, like that, just will literally get you nowhere.
I mean, the highest form of living is to live by values that you set for yourself, and then to behave in accordance to those values. So what do you value? Do you value having that relationship, or do you value like a sense of justice or righteousness? It's like, and you can decide what they are, and then just live by them.
That
was a little deep for that.
I was just gonna say that. I was like, that was very deep. That was deep. Time to deep dive into this.
Deep fried burrito. That's a chimichanga.
Sure. I feel that relationships are a two-way street, and it shouldn't be all on one person putting in effort. I feel like I didn't read that right. I feel that relationships are a two-way street, and it shouldn't be all one person putting in effort. But I bit my lip and just told her I was very sorry I had hurt her. I had no idea she felt that way, and that I wanted to be a better sister to her and would make more of an effort to reach out. It's been a month since that talk, and I reach out to her a few times a week. Texting, sometimes sending her funny videos on Facebook or Snapchats. When I text her, she barely responds, and it's always very one-sided about how she's doing or feeling. She never asks how I am or what I'm doing, and when I do tell her, she just seems disinterested or doesn't even respond. But again, I'm still trying. Now I feel like a doormat. I can't help feeling frustrated because my feelings were hurt that she was so mad I didn't reach out but never thought to speak to me or tell me or even ask me. Sorry, I added a me. That last me wasn't there. Blah, blah, blah. I can't help feeling frustrated because my feelings were hurt that she was so mad I didn't reach out but never thought to speak to me or tell me or even ask how I was doing either.
Yeah, it's crazy that she didn't reach out at all after your entire life imploded on you.
Yeah. Well, she said that they don't really talk, like, anyway. Like, they do sometimes. But now, for some reason, when they're both going through a hard time, it's like, why didn't you check up on me?
Well,
It's
I don't.
like,
Yeah, I don't know. If I had siblings and they find out that like my partner cheated on me one day before they were moving across the country, like I don't know. Like I would expect like a, hey, are you good? At least I would
Yeah.
expect something.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how close they are. It doesn't seem like they're super close, but also, I don't know. Like, they could be. Who knows? I understand she is at the end of her pregnancy and things are scary and overwhelming and hormones play a big part. But I can't shake my feeling of irritation the more I reach out and get a half-assed response. I feel like I don't matter. My feelings don't matter, and putting effort in doesn't matter. I would love to approach her with how I feel in this situation, similar to how she felt, but I also don't want to stress her out before she has a baby.
I think you can approach her in a way that's not super stressful. Like, I think you could say a lot of what you literally just said to her in a text, being like, hey, like, try to keep the emotions as low as possible. Just be like, hey, I feel like, you know, maybe our communication's a little one-sided, like,
Yeah.
and I, you know, feel like I do want to put effort into this, but I'm not sure exactly what it's accomplishing. And again, I don't want to stress you out. I just want to let you know how I'm feeling, because I'm your sister and you're my sister, and I want us to be able to move forward and have a good relationship together.
Yeah. I mean, I agree that it doesn't have to be like, well, like you don't have to be so intense or intimidating about it. Like, it could just be like, hey, I've just been feeling like, maybe there's a little tension between us or something, and I kind of want to figure that out before, like, all this baby stuff happens. I don't know, I feel like that's, like, fine to say.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure what to do or if it's even worth stressing about. Should I just let it go altogether or keep on like I have been? Am I the a-hole for not reaching out sooner during her pregnancy when I was going through a divorce at the same time? There's an update. Should we just keep going?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because I definitely don't think you're the a-hole. You had a lot going on.
Yeah. I think you both just were, you had other things to worry about than being like, hey, update me on your life.
Yeah, it's not like you were just like eating chips on the couch watching reruns.
And it's not like you were purposely avoiding each other. Like, life just got in the way, and that's sometimes just how it is, Touch my toadstool.
I'll touch the stool however I want. There's a stool on the ground. I'm using it for my feet in the
Upside
weirdest way
down.
possible.
Ew. Fine. All right, update. Let's hear the good news. First off, thank you so very much. That's not even what it says. First off, thank you very much to everyone who has responded and all of your kind words and advice. Sometimes it's nice to gain the perspective of another person outside of friends and family. Some people had said that my stepsister seemed spoiled or like a bully, but I disagree. I think in all honesty, she is similar to me and is a bit of a doormat in the family. I think she just didn't think about what I was going through or realize how hard it might be honest. This doesn't make it okay, and I'm not excusing her behavior because it is still crappy. But I definitely don't think her intentions were meant to be mean in any way. That's exactly what I said. I feel like it, neither of you meant to, ignore each other or not reach out. It's just you were both going through things, I honestly think a major factor in this situation is my dad. He and I have always had a very tumultuous relationship. When I moved, he and I had a falling out. He stopped talking to me and refused to respond to texts and calls after I moved. We finally started talking again the day before the baby shower because my stepmom didn't want any drama at the shower and told him to call me and work things out. He said a lot of cruel things to me during that time, and it made me realize how much of a self-absorbed person he was. As a side note, you really start to realize who is there for you through your hardest...
My apologies. Ugh, I don't know where that came from.
He said a lot of cruel things to me during that time, and it made me realize how much of a self-absorbed person he was. Where's my...
Oh, I'm sorry.
My text box?
That's my file. I'm sorry.
Get it together! What is that? What are those?
There it is.
There it is. The toadstool. He said a lot of cruel things to me during that time, and it made me realize how much of a self-absorbed person he was. As a side note, you really start to realize who is there for you through your hardest times when you're going through something like a divorce. It shows you a lot about the people around you. He is part of that generation of if someone hurts your feelings, too bad. It's your responsibility to maintain the relationship, not theirs. I've been slowly putting distance between me and him only after years of not realizing I was being a doormat and a people pleaser. I was letting these people in my life walk all over me, especially him. I think he was the one who actually put the idea in my stepsister's head that I should have reached out to her, and I was a crappy person for not doing so. In his mind, it's my responsibility to reach out to people I want to have a relationship with. I find it weird that the timing lines up with my dad refusing to reach out to me and talk to me. I'm sure he was bad-mouthing me with her, but who knows. So now, for the actual update.
Let's go.
Any conversation with my sister is going to have to be put on the back burner because she went into labor yesterday.
Oh.
Baby time, baby time.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about the conversation stressing out the baby.
That's true. Now the baby's out. Baby's on its own.
Now the baby's getting stressed out by the real world.
Now the baby's super stressed. She had to have an emergency C-section today.
Oh.
Baby is healthy, and she is doing good too. It was hard and scary, and lots went sideways, but everyone is doing fine now. By the way...
You'll be fine.
That's what, I was thinking that. It was hard and scary. Lots went sideways, but everyone's doing fine now. By the way, oh, fuck. It was hard and scary.
By the way, you can be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. It would be fine.
By the way, it would definitely be fine if you would like to listen to full episodes just like this one. Go to iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime.
Go do it. I dare ya.
I double dare you.
I triple dare ya.
And I'm going to quadruple that.
I don't know how to go higher than that.
I think it's quintuple.
I was lying. I did know how to go higher than that. I was just trying to end it there.
Oh, all right. Fine.
I septuple dare you, dog. Woof, woof. We got there. We did it. We've done it.
There's an update. What should we talk about?
Well, I think you're moving in the right direction. I think you're realizing, like, maybe a lot of this isn't even necessarily coming from either of you, and maybe more from the environment you were in when you grew up. Right? Like, with Narcissist Dad. I think you're going to be fine. I think you move forward, and you know what? You're going to visit the baby and be with the baby, see the baby, babysit, probably, at some point. And I think you guys are on the road to mending the fence.
Yeah, and I think also...
Sorry?
And I think also, you know, having a relationship with the child is great, too. You know, I think that would mean a lot to her, that you're in... you know, the baby's life and her life now, and, you know, trying to make that effort towards this becoming something again, you know. So I think you're on the right track, OP. Let's keep going. For now, I think it's best that I continue to be there for her. Yeah, baby. But I am going to take people's advice and slowly take a step back and not message her as often as I was before. A conversation will be had in the future when life slows down and it can be brought up and not seen as an attack. Yes. I still want to bring it up and share with her how hard it was and how dark of a time it was. I don't think she really knew how hard the mental struggle was on me, and to be fair, I never really opened up about it afterwards. It's something that maybe in the future we can talk about and hopefully come to a mutual understanding. And that's the end.
I think you'll do exactly that.
Yeah.
I think that is exactly what will happen.
I honestly don't think anyone really did anything wrong in this. I think life just got the best of both of you. And, you know, sometimes you go through hard things, good things, whatever, and then you lose contact with people. But, you know, no one should blame each other for that. Like, stuff just gets in the way, and that's just life, you know? But, yeah, the dad just seems like he's starting stuff, which annoying. So I would just, you know, keep him at arm's length. But yeah, I think you're doing fine, OP. I think everything's gonna work out.
I do too.
And that is the end of this episode, and we have another one coming right up.
We got that. That was the end of that story.
Oh, that was the end of the story?
End of the story, not episode.
Sorry.
But that's fine. But that is the end of that story. We've got another one right now. My dad had nearly $1 million, but still left me struggling.
Oh, you gotta help a homie out.
$1 million in this economy is basically like 25 cents.
That's true.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know anything. Let's start back when I, 31 female, was a kid for context purposes. My dad, 64 male, has always been a bit distant. Both my father and mother, 55 female, put a lot more thought and attention on my older brother, Trevor, 32 male. Trevor always had an issue in school and had violent outbursts with his very obvious ADHD. By the way, this comes from user SilverJellyfish803. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
And I'm Savannah.
And we are here to give you good advice, goofily. But we don't have all the answers in the known universe. We're just a couple of goofballs. We only know what we do. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do down in the comments. As OP says.
OP says. You knocked over the toadstone. What are you looking for? Tape. Would it be in here? I would I would expect normal tape rather than gaffer tape. Did you look at the tape drawer?
Okay, hold on. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, everybody. That was unprofessional.
So unprofessional. Fire him.
Sorry, everybody. That was unprofessional.
Fire him. Get rid of him.
So, fast forward to me being late teens when I moved away for college. Me and my mom got really close. She would drive 2 hours to my college every Thursday to watch Grey's Anatomy with me.
What a fun time.
Shout out George Clooney.
Is he in that?
He was on the early ones, I think. Or maybe that was ER. Maybe that was General Hospital. I don't know.
I know.
There's too many hospital shows, man.
McDreamy's in it.
She was my absolute best friend. In 2015, I was sideswiped by a transport truck and it caused my car to be destroyed.
Whoa.
That's scary.
Yeah.
I called my mom. She sent my dad. He picked me up, drove back to his work, handed me his keys, and said, "Stay here all day or drive yourself home," because I was sobbing and too scared to drive home. My mom was a blubbering mess about it all because I was injured pretty bad with a rotator cuff injury. Fast forward to 2017. My mom passed away of a sudden heart attack in the home I grew up in.
Oh,
That's a very rough shake.
God. And that's like after everything and just to happen so suddenly. Ugh. Sorry.
I wake up to paramedics.
Why is it being weird?
No. Not again.
Why you do that? Why you gonna do that? Why you gonna do that? Hey, yo, why you gonna do that?
Hey, oh, what's going on there? Oh,
Yes.
hey, what's going on? Hey,
What's going on? Hey.
Who is that? Who is this character?
I hate when that thing pops up. It
Hey,
pisses me off.
What's going on? Hey. What's going on? Hey. What's going on? Hey. What's going on? Hey. I could do that for an hour.
I could do that for an hour.
Okay. Locking in. Sorry, editors. I wake up to paramedics, the whole nine, peak trauma. Dad suddenly is lots of substances and drinking. My mother's life insurance policy was always supposed to cover the house. My dad chose to use it for other things instead, clearly recreationally. I'm so sorry, OP. About a year after my mom passed, I had a newborn baby girl. He loved her, but he never watched her. He didn't do anything to help besides financially if I was struggling. We had our own basement apartment in the home, but a shared kitchen upstairs. He had always said during this time that he's putting away some money for my brother and I so that we can eventually buy a house. For context, we live in a place where buying a house for under $500,000 was rare. When one of my friends who would come over all the time after my mom passed would get off work early, she would hang out at my house with my dad until I got home. It started getting weird when she would not even ask me to hang out, and she'd be at my house hanging with my dad. Slowly, me and this friend stopped being friends because she saw a heartbroken, devastated man who is very shy and doesn't really like meeting people, all while having quite a big chunk of money in his bank account from his passed away wife. When that friend got wasted one day with my dad and she tried to go home, she ended up hitting my husband Jesse's friend's car.
What?
My dad took her side and said it's not her fault.
Well, yes, it is.
It's not her fault. She drank and got behind the wheel. That is not the only person whose fault that is God's.
Yeah, I don't.
That's probably what he would say.
I don't really understand that reasoning of like.
Because it makes no sense, Savannah.
Oh. Right.
We got into it, and the next day, my husband and my daughter, A, 7 female, left and went to a shelter. He had threatened to lock us out of the house and change the locks because of this argument. The threat, I couldn't trust him, especially knowing my daughter was going to be at the hands of whether my father locked us out or not. We ended up getting out of the shelter pretty quick. We went into a geared to income housing that was a brand new home, and we only had to pay rent that amounted to 30% of our income. My husband got a new job, and my second daughter, now 4 female, was born, and we could not be happier. My dad had sold the home, my childhood home, the one where my mom passed away. So now that he sold the house, he now has almost $1 million in his bank account from the sale of the home. Instead of buying himself a small little house, he took this money and decided to rent an apartment. But I still held on to hope that he would help me buy a house one day. A couple years later, my husband and I decide we want to move across the country. I asked my dad to come with us. He said no, because everyone he knows is back home.
I mean, that makes sense. You don't have, he's old. He doesn't want to, make new friends. He kind of just wants to chill.
For a second, I thought it was just like we're doing a trip across the country, and I'm like, what, you don't want to just, leave? You don't want to just see somewhere else?
You don't want to, explore?
But they're moving, so that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
Suddenly, I find out I'm pregnant for the 3rd time.
Whoa, they're getting busy.
With my son, now
Whoa.
3 male. My second was only 6 months old, but we did it, and we made it.
Yeah,
we moved, and you did that 3 times, actually.
3 to be exact. Maybe even more. We don't know.
We moved, and everything was great. My dad had no part in paying for the move. What he did, though, when I found out I was pregnant, was help me buy a car. My credit was horrible, and my husband had no credit, so when we went to try and finance a pre-owned car, I was unable to get it done. My dad said he would co-sign. We go in, and they tell us that if I go on it at all, my interest rate skyrockets. So my dad said, it's fine. He'll put the whole finance in his name while I'm the primary owner of the vehicle. The dealership made him very aware that if I ever stopped paying, it would never affect me. It would only affect him. However, they would repossess the vehicle from me. I had no intentions on ever stopping paying for this vehicle. Well, just a little semantics here. I hope you did have the intention of at some point paying the vehicle off so that you don't have to pay for it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay for this vehicle for the rest of my life.
I love spending money over and over and over again.
I love paying money for vehicles. My brother had already screwed my dad over this way, so I was never going to do it to him too. Fast forward to about a year ago, I was driving about 30 kilometers an hour on a road that wasn't very well maintained in the winter. I hit a big patch of ice, and I ended up rolling my vehicle at very low speeds. I still had about 2 years left to pay on this vehicle, but now it was written off. I got a payout from insurance that was paid out to me because I was the owner of the vehicle, but there was a lien on the vehicle, and because it was not in my name, I could not pay it off. I had to just keep making the payments with the payout that was paid to me. That sounds very weird. I don't know what the law is about the financing wherever you did it, but I know with me, the way my car is financed, I don't know if it's a lien on the, I'm not sure, but I could pay off the whole thing right now if I wanted to. Yeah.
Wait, what? I don't understand any of that.
Yeah. So the last few months have been kind of crazy. We went to finance a trailer because I wanted to raise my credit since I finally started working again back in February. My credit has exponentially risen. My husband's has exponentially risen. So we decided we wanted to start looking at the potential to buy a house. We're fine paying the crashed car payment, the trailer payment, my new car payment that we were able to finance on our own, and our rent and all of the other bills. When we went to buy the house, we were told we needed a co-signer, and at this point, my dad has been very distant. I've hardly talked to him in the last 3 years since I moved away. He'll sometimes send money for the kids' birthdays or Christmas, but he doesn't call. He doesn't ask how they are. I recently found out a friend that I'd had since the 4th grade had been hanging out and seeing my dad.
Ooh, what?
Was it the same friend
Who
that was
crashed the
hanging out
car?
with him before? Yeah, was it that same friend?
Jesse, I think the name was.
Gross, 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 gross. She knew how much the last friend had hurt me by doing this. Oh, so it's a different one. How
What?
unlikely.
Why?
Is your-
Why are your friends? Is your dad just really hot?
Is your dad just super hot and cool?
Like, is he like a silver fox or
OP,
something?
send us a picture of your dad.
I want to see that daddy.
Give me that dad pic. This friend has a very severe drinking and substance use problem.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it sounds like
what
your
are the
dad.
odds?
No, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like your dad just parties.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
hilarious, honestly.
She had lost custody of her kids, and her children's father had told her to leave when she was belligerent. So she got upset, called my dad to pick her up, and neither my father or this friend told me about this. Her children's father had sent me pictures of my dad picking her up. From that point, I removed that friend from our childhood friend group chat, blocked her on Facebook, and removed her from all other social media. I sent Trevor a message and was like, Dad's at it again. Now I've lost 2 friends. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh because this sucks, but that was the funniest way you could have said that. Dad's at it again.
Here we go. Doing substances with my childhood friends. I've already lost one. Now here comes another.
Trevor responds, I don't want to talk about this. Well, thanks, Trevor.
Thanks.
All I said to my dad was, what the F, Dad? And he never responded. Anytime I sent him a message on Facebook or a text, I'm left on red, or all I get is that traditional dry dad thumbs up emoji. When I had rolled the car, for example, he sent a thumbs up and then said, nice. No way he sent you a thumbs up to your car rolled over.
Dad, I just got in a wreck. My car flipped over 3 times.
Nice.
Like, what?
Not even like a, are you okay? Are you where are you? Is it
Send a pic of the car upside down and you get
nice? So, now I got a cosigner and we were coming up to closing on a house. It is a beautiful bungalow and I was in love. The house number was the same as my mom's old house, and there was a letter on the house that also happened to be my married last name initial. The previous owners had the same initials as my husband and I. So I messaged my dad and I said, hey, you always said you wanted to help us buy a house. Well, we've managed to get one without the help. We're coming up on our closing costs, and I was wondering if you would like to contribute to help us towards those. No pressure. If you don't want to, that's fine. I'll figure it out anyway. I always do. Yeah. Well,
I don't know, it was kind of passive aggressive.
like, if you honestly wanted him to help, I probably wouldn't have sent that text.
Yeah, I would have been like, hey, I know we haven't talked in a while, but, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a horrible time asking for money.
My dad's response was, I don't know, I'm kind of low on money. It depends on how much it is. My response to this was, don't worry about it. I was just asking for a contribution, whatever you could or wanted to put forward. Don't worry about it. I did not get a congratulations. I didn't get any I'm proud of you messages. When I sent him a picture of the house we bought with a big sold sign on it, all I got was a thumbs up. Yeah, honestly, and I think what you might need to reckon with is that your dad probably has a substance use disorder, and that can cause a pretty extreme level of detachment from the people who should be closest to you.
You should go through all of the messages and thumbs down every single thing he says.
Or better yet, just always send a thumbs up no matter what he
Thumb more.
sends you.
Just thumb more.
So your friend Jessie slashed both my tires because I told her I couldn't commit. Hey, nice.
Nice.
Nice. On my birthday, he messaged me, happy birthday, have a great day. No, I love you. No, I miss you. Just the generic happy birthday message you'd send to the friend of a friend you met that one time at a party. Well, that's great. I don't send birthday messages to the friend of a friend that I met once at a party.
That's true. I mean, maybe I would if I really liked them. If they made an impression on me, I'd be like, Yeah, I'll say hi. They were cool.
Yeah, but then they just become your friend at that point.
You can say happy birthday without becoming friends.
Sure.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I'm
Not
just going to send that to everyone on their birthday. Nice.
Nice.
Good job being born.
Heard it's your birthday. Nice.
Trevor didn't even wish me a happy birthday until a week or so later. Jesse has always been such a constant for me since 2016, and he has always hated the way my father and brother treat me. It was the source of our fights for a long time until we moved out, and we have hardly had a disagreement since. However, he truly thinks the way this is all played out, my dad should eat the bill of the last 15 months of car payments that are left. If I stop paying this bill, it's essentially cutting off my dad and going no contact. And stopping the payments, leaving him to foot the bill, would definitely burn the bridge. So, it's been a year, and I'm kind of tired of paying for a car I don't drive. It's not like I can't afford it. It's more the fact that I was always promised help buying a home after Mom passed away, but I've been physically and emotionally abandoned instead. My question is, would I be the a-hole if I stopped paying for a car that my dad is the sole person on the loan? And by the way, we have a whole lot of full episodes with stories like this on your favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. All you got to do is search OK Storytime, and you can listen to all of them. And there's quite a lot. Before we get to this last update here, I think you would be, whether or not it's right or wrong or justified, yeah, it'd be an a-hole move. Him co-signing on the car was what got you to, get the car in the first place. So if you shafted him over that, that would be an a-hole move, even if it is justified. But I think what needs to be done is you need to talk to somebody who can tell you how you can just pay all that down. Because you just pay that off to stop paying the payments on it,
Yeah, I don't know how that works entirely because it sounds really, really complicated. But yeah, I agree. I think you definitely should pay for it because you would be the a-hole if you don't pay for it. Because yeah, basically exactly what Dakota said.
And I think, to some level, I know he had said oh, well, I'll help you get a house, that your mom's gone now. I'll help you get a house. But did you ever, I understand not wanting to have to be like, hey, are you going to help me? Do you want to help me? Remember when you said you would help me and you just want him to do it? But I don't know. If it really was just about getting the support for the house, you got to be kind of businesslike about it. But I really do think for OP, it was more about the principle of just wanting their dad to be proactively I want to help you. And that's a different issue.
Yeah, I think there's an underlying thing happening here to where you may be seeking his validation. Because I mean, all of the things that you have mentioned, you would say, he didn't even congratulate me, didn't get a proud of you, love you, whatever. So you are seeking his validation for something, and no matter, it feels like no matter what you do, you're not going to get there. But I think there are other ways to seek that validation, within yourself, within your partner, within your kids, you don't need to outsource to this man who just hurts you constantly, So, yeah, and I know, maybe you do want a relationship with him, but maybe you don't, or I don't know, because he always ends up, making weird choices, especially with your childhood friends for some reason. I don't know why, that's the thing.
So freaky. Imagine, hooking up with your child's friend.
Yeah.
That's Game of Thrones. That's House of the Dragon type stuff.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
We're gonna finish the story,
Yeah.
because there's one more update.
Let's do it.
The consensus is that I would be the a-hole. And that is kind of what I always knew. I just know at the end of the day, I wouldn't be able to live with myself knowing I gave that FU finale to the very painful one-sided relationship with my dad. I've chosen to continue paying as it doesn't financially burden me. The payments keep going out on time bi-weekly as they always have. Bi-weekly?
Yeah, I was questioning that as well. How much do you have to pay on that?
So you pay a car payment every 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's not like a monthly thing.
What happened? What is that?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Talk to a financial advisor to see if you can how you can get this debt off of you faster.
Yeah, like what?
Because I feel like
it's
accruing, like, the interest. So you want to pay it off like right now, because the longer you take to pay, the more you have to pay.
Yeah, I'm really confused.
Yeah, and I'm not a financial advisor. I have just chosen to take the high road and walk away from the bridge rather than burning it. I appreciate you all taking a moment to read and respond. I didn't even expect a single reply. And that is the end of that story. And little did you know your story was gonna make it on OK Storytime.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't read through it, but I did just now. I didn't pick the story. I don't pick them.
You were here.
I was.
You did. You did read through it.
I read.
Give me that. No, okay, sorry. We're having a fight. My mother hijacked our engagement, so I went low contact with her.
You should go no contact with her.
Damn. Hey, gang. I proposed to my girlfriend of over 2 years in Hawaii about a week ago. Shoutouts to you, champ. It was something we had thoroughly discussed and were looking forward to. I had told her parents, grandma, and best friend, as these were the people she expressed she wanted me to reach out to before I did so. As well, I told a couple of my buddies to share my excitement and pick my brain. By the way, this comes from user Spatium Ignarius. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
And I'm Savannah.
And we are here to give you good advice, goofily. But we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. That
could be a wrap.
All right.
That was just so fast. And I was like, blah, 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 blah. I just thought, Eminem could have done that as well. The end.
I'm Slim Shady. I was worried about sharing this with my family as they tend to be too involved in my life and relationships, and I didn't want their opinions tainting this decision for me. My sister, before our trip, had a private conversation with me where she asked if I was going to do something stupid in Hawaii. As a side note, she's my older sister and has been with her boyfriend for about 4 years now. We decided it would be best to share the news in person when we got home. And after my mom picked us up, we went to their house to see my mom, grandma, and sister. When we shared the news, we were met with silence, and my mom saying she wished she knew or was involved. We got a half-heated congrats and hug, and my sister asked if her family knew. I told her that my fiancé wished me to speak to her parents. Then my sister made a comment about being the second choice and stormed off. Well, gee frickin' willikers, I wonder why I would be hesitant to tell you.
Yeah, that just proves that you just can't handle it because it's not even your engagement. You're not even involved.
You literally asked me in reference to proposing, it sounded like, am I going to do something stupid? So yeah, I don't want your opinion or thought on it. I'm going to do that.
Yeah. If you're just going to be met with like hostility, then buzz off.
Frickin' PU, somebody stinks in here.
Ew, ew.
Oh, you stink. You stink.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like.
My grandma only said she knew it was going to happen, and that's it. That reaction felt very hurtful considering how they hijacked our good news for their feelings, and we only got one congrats that was half-hearted. My mom even made my fiance put the ring on and asked sarcastically, "What's the plan?" I'm not sure how to approach going forward, or if they have any validity in feeling sore about any of this. And there are some comments, but, I mean, no, they sound insufferable already.
Yeah, they just sound like they really, like, just want to complain about everything.
Your grandma literally said, "I knew it." What?
Thanks, Granny.
Not even like oh, I knew it. Yay, congratulations. I love you. Just
I knew this was gonna happen.
Even if it's just like fake. Like they could have faked it, but
Yeah.
they all were just like, Nope, let's just show our overwhelming disappointment of this.
We want to be difficult. We don't like being easy. We are difficult people. That's their song. And there are some comments. Comment 1, I feel like we need more information here. Different cultures have different norms around engagements and marriage. Fair point. What are the expectations in your culture? What are their reasons for their lack of enthusiasm? Have they expressed concerns about your fiance? OP says, my family is Italian American.
I get it now.
No, let me go. I can't do that.
I'm Italian American as well.
I gotta go harder. I gotta go. My family is an Italian American family.
That was good.
She's Italian, so I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the stereotypes of being very controlling and involved in relationships. Is it true?
What?
Is it true?
Huh?
Is it true?
Oh.
Is it true?
Oh yeah, like Italian families. Yeah. It's it's very very involved. Like
Like
you know, what are you doing? What are your plans? What's gonna be the big thing happening? You know, you're gonna have children. You're gonna do this. When are you gonna do that? When am I gonna see it? When are you gonna tell me?
When are you gonna do this? When are you gonna do that? When am I gonna make the tomato sauce?
Yeah, that's actually exactly the order that it goes. It goes relationships, babies, tomato sauce.
In my case, I find that to be true, and I will say that I've had several conversations with my family regarding my relationships and appropriate boundaries. I've had disagreements with both my mom and sister regarding their comments and opinions because they're unwanted and harmful towards my well-being. My fiancé has always been respectful to my family, has never openly expressed to them any frustrations, and continues to want to try and foster a good relationship with them. My mom and sister have both said they have no issue with her necessarily, which sounds like they secretly have an issue with her.
Yeah, not necessarily do I have an issue, but necessarily I do.
If it were to become necessary, I would have an issue.
Oh, that worked, honestly.
Comment number 2. I mean, you didn't tell them you were planning to do it because you believed they would taint the decision for you, so you already knew they wouldn't be happy about the engagement. Then when you told them they were not happy about the engagement, it sounds like the issue isn't their reaction to the engagement. It's much bigger than that. It's that they don't approve of your fiancé. OP says, well, they've overstepped boundaries I've expressed before, and when I've asked them, they've said they have no issue with my fiancé. They've talked to me about things they've seen that concerned them, and I've found them to be out of touch. For example, my mom thinks my fiancé rushes me out of the house when we visit, even though I've always been the one to say we're going to head out. Oof. Yeah, that's a hard one, being like, well, she just makes you leave us. She was trying to keep you away from us. It's like, actually, Ma, I'm the one who's saying we got to go.
Maybe, hear me out, you might both kind of be blaming things on the fiancé. Maybe.
What do you mean, OP is?
Yeah, like
what do you mean?
I'm thinking like, you know, like she, like maybe the mom is like, oh, like you always rush out the door, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, you know, like he doesn't specifically say that it's him doing it. You know, he's like, so they just think that, oh, maybe he doesn't want to spend time with them. And so he does rush her out the door, but then they blame it on her. But he never like actually says, oh, that actually like I'm the one who wants to leave. Like they just are like, oh, like it must be her. See where I'm going? Like they kind of are choosing her to put the blame on instead of just like each other. Like I feel like she's not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't gotten a lot of context with her, but
I don't know. I got to meet her first.
I know I gotta meet her. What's the pasta sauce like, huh?
So, comment 3 says, I mean, you did tell her family ahead of time and waited until after to tell yours. So that is treating them different and having your family be second. You seem to have your reasons for doing so, but even if your reasons are sound, you can't control how they react to being purposefully told after her family. I do wonder if there's other ways you guys have favored her family over the last 2 years that's created the resentment your family feels. That happened with my brother's first marriage, and while my family didn't make a fuss over it, it was annoying for them to always put her family above ours. I was glad when she left. Going forward, I think you'll have to figure out whether you're going to treat her family different than you treat yours, or try to treat them as evenly as possible. And if you're not going to treat them equally, figure out how you're going to handle it when your family figures it out. Whether it's being honest about things they do being the reason, or just dealing with their ire. OP replies, the only reason her family knew comes from fairly traditional proposal etiquette of asking for a blessing from her parents. I spend a lot of time deliberating and didn't feel that it was necessary to tell my family since it's a very personal choice, and I wanted it to be a surprise. We told them the second we found it appropriate, as soon as we landed back home. I don't think we've treated my family any different. Her family is very laid back and open, which makes it easy to do things with them and share. When I try the same approach with mine, I'm met with ire and shame, which makes it difficult. Yet we still do try, and thus why I'm asking for opinions. Is there a lot of ire and shame being thrown around, Savannah?
I would need the definition of ire.
Like disappointment. Bad, do bad thing. You a bad thing.
Well,
Grr.
From what OP is giving us, I think, yeah, there is some ire being thrown and some shame around this person's decisions. I
just meant in Italian families.
Oh. Oh, is there a lot of like...
I wasn't even being serious. I was just making a joke.
Oh.
I was just joking about how you're Italian.
I was joking.
I was just
It was
joking
just a joke.
around. Pretty soon you won't even be able to joke about the Italians anymore.
I hope that day never
They're going
happens.
to take that away from us. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
hope not.
I'm not that it's not that big of a deal.
It's a huge deal.
I'll make fun of the Italians no matter what. Okay?
That's true, eh?
Comment 4. My mom got very negative with me when I was divorcing my husband. I clearly and succinctly told her that she either starts supporting me or I would cut her off from me and my kids. It is so important to start setting clear boundaries with them now. Nothing else will work. They will work hard to ruin this for you and your fiancé. How they're acting is rude and selfish. Even if they feel like you're making a mistake, it's your mistake. And they should support you anyway. Also, tell your mom if she wants to see future grandchildren, she needs to change her attitude. People treat you the way you allow them to. Don't let them ruin this happy time for you and your fiancé. OP replies, I'm sorry you had to deal with that. For reference, my parents are divorced, and I didn't have a relationship with my dad's side. My grandmother and aunt did the same things to her that she and my sister are doing to my fiancé. All that to say, I'm not interested in letting history repeat itself. Thank you so much for your words. And we do have a little update right here.
I don't know. I mean, I can see both sides, but I do think that, like, the actions that OP took to do this, like, them, like, treating the fiance's family different, I think that there are differences in it. But I don't know. It seems, I feel like I'm not getting everything in this story. I feel like I'm just getting, obviously OP's side. But I would like to know more about, like, what the family, has done. Because I feel like the things that OP's talking about aren't really that huge of issues.
Yeah. Well, it was more just like, I think her family knew, or the fiance's family knew because, well, you were asking for permission, And it's like, I can understand not wanting to tell your parents until after, because it's like, if you tell your parents and your family before, the peanut gallery is all going to have something to say. Oh, no, don't do it like that. Do it like this. Don't do it there. Do it here. Oh, don't do it at that time of day. Do it then. Like, oh, what kind of ring you got? Ah, that ring sucks. Like, it's just like, I'm going to tell them that we're engaged and that I proposed after I do it.
Yeah, because ultimately it is your life and you can do what you want. But it seems like you, again, are seeking that validation from these people that aren't giving it to you. And I don't know why you're trying to make them, like, change their mind or trying to get them to change their mind. Trust me, you're never going to get someone to change their mind.
I think you can just call them silly babies and move on.
Yeah, just be like, well, I knew this was going to happen.
3 months update.
Oh.
It has now been over 3 months since that happened. I wish I could say things have improved, but unfortunately, they've gotten worse.
Oh, no. How could they get worse?
Let's find out. My fiance and I have continued building our life together and planning our wedding, but my mom and sister have not reached out in any healthy or supportive way. After months of silence, other than random texts not addressing the elephant in the room, and even then, that was more recent, my sister finally messaged me recently. She wanted to have a conversation with just her brother and wouldn't entertain a conversation to start with my fiancé included. Instead of accountability or a real attempt to make things right, she sent a guilt-filled text accusing me of treating my family like they don't matter, saying I was being controlled by outside voices, and closing with how you're treating the only family you have left. So, fun fact, I actually just made a family with my wife. We're building our life and our family together. And being controlled by outside voices, so you would rather the voices that control me be yours instead of just controlling myself.
I think they're talking about like outside voices. They're like saying like the fiance.
Yeah, but it's
whatever.
like, so what's the contradiction to that? Or like, what's the other side of that coin? Are they saying that they would rather you just listen to your family,
Yeah.
consult them, and have their voice inside your head?
I feel like it's just too much. Like, I just think, like, I'm gonna do what I want, and it's either you're with me or you're not. And if you're not, then why do you care? Like, if, why would you, if it bothers you so much, then, like, I'm giving you this opportunity to just, like, cut ties and not talk. And you're just like, no, I still want you to be a part of our life, but I'm still going to make it really hard and annoying for you.
You literally have one job in this situation, and it's just to be like, I'm happy for you. I'm glad. Let me know how I can help. Like, help plan your wedding, maybe. Whatever. I'm excited. That's all you need to say. That is all you have to do.
Yeah.
Don't be sending, well, you're letting outside voices control you. I don't even have this conversation around your fiance. Blah, 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 blah.
Honestly, the way that you said that, like, just annoyed me. I was like, oh, if I received that text, I'd be like, shut up. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. So she closed with, how you're treating the only family you have left, and that last line hit hard. Our uncle recently passed away, and it felt like she was weaponizing that loss to hurt me, which is a scumbag thing to do.
Yeah, what?
The message was manipulative and avoided any responsibility for the way they reacted to my engagement. I realized that responding would only pull me back into the same cycle that's existed for years, where I'm expected to smooth things over while they refuse to reflect on their behavior, so I didn't reply. But by the way, I'll always be giving you this reply, and it's that we have full episodes with stories just like this one on your favorite podcast platform. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. All you got to do is search OK Storytime. And then you got a whole story palooza.
Big mess of chaos and fun.
And there is a little bit more story here. Let's finish it off.
All right.
Or do you have anything to add?
No, I think we kind of said
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. OP continues. Even when well-meaning people, including my fiance's mom, suggested I might try a one-on-one talk to ease the tension, I realized that doing so right now would mean betraying my self-respect. There's been no apology, no ownership, and no acknowledgement that the problem began when they turned my engagement announcement into something about them. At this point, I'm maintaining silence until there's genuine change. I'm not closing the door forever, but I'm no longer willing to carry the emotional responsibility for people who won't meet me halfway. Any thoughts or advice? And that is the end of that story, but I have to say that maintaining silence until there's genuine change and then saying that you're not closing the door forever, you kind of are.
Yeah.
Because if you just go silent, they don't know what they need to do or what they should do. I think just because people are not receptive to the things that you're going to say, I think you can still say them and then be at peace that you did. And then
For sure.
yeah.
I think, OP, I feel like you have something to say to them. but you like won't say it for some reason because like you don't want to like be the bad guy, for saying this to them.
Well,
but
it's pride. It's self-respect at this point. It's like, well, because they haven't apologized, so why should I talk to them about this? They don't even think they did anything wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like, you got to let that go. If you actually want to try to fix it, you have to let that go, whether it's fair or not.
Yeah. Pride honestly always gets in the way of stuff. And just if you like erase that for a second and just zoom out, look at the big picture, and if you still want them in your life, like it doesn't matter who's gonna make the effort to do what. If you want it, then make it happen, Like you don't wait for them and be like, I'll wait here till you guys change, because obviously that's never gonna happen, and it's just gonna be at a standstill forever and ever.
The
and then
longer it goes on, the worse it's gonna be.
Yeah, and it's not going to work out by not communicating. That's the opposite of what you should do. You need to communicate your needs, your feelings, and, whatever. Like, maybe you need to be really, transparent about it. Like, maybe you were beating around the bush or whatnot. I don't know what conversations you've had with them, but, at least, like, just open that door. And if they slam it shut, then that's it. Then just be done.
And that is the end of that story. We are done with that story. We have another one coming right up.
My long-distance girlfriend flirts with her trainer, but treats me casually.
That should be your long-distance ex-girlfriend.
At the end of last year, 2024, I, 27 male, met a girl, 25 female, online on a dating app. At the time, I was 26 and she was 25, and we started a long-distance relationship. She lived in another city, and that was a hindrance to the relationship. But I really fell in love with her and started having plans to move to her city and we could be together. By the way, this comes from Competitive Ring 5479, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I am Savannah.
I am Dakota.
And we are here to give good advice goofily, but we do not have all of the answers. We would only tell you what we would do in this situation, and we would love to know what you would do in the comments, as OP says. At first, she seemed like a perfect person. Mature, discreet, and intelligent. Unlike most of the girls I had dated before. And that captivated me, this apparent maturity of hers.
Hey, guess what? You don't know her. You've only met online. You don't know her.
That is pretty true. Wait, they haven't met in person?
I don't think so. That's what I would tell to anyone who thinks they've fallen in love with a dating profile.
Yeah.
You don't know them yet.
That's true. Oof. All right. And that captivated me, this apparent maturity of hers. I had already had a relationship with a girl with diagnosed borderline who kept having bouts of jealousy and getting into fights with me. I need to put this down.
Yeah, good call. Good call, good call, good call.
Good call, good call, good call. Let me go back. Who kept having bouts of jealousy and getting into fights with me, but this girl in question was different. She seemed much more mature and calm, and that at first captivated me. At first is the key word here.
Keyword at first.
At first. She had a very captivating personality, as she was fun, funny, and lively, and at the same time, you could notice a certain shyness in her. She kept saying that she was shy and it took her a while to be able to let go, etc. In the meantime, as the months went by and talking about calls every day, we started to fall in love. And I started talking about my desire to be with her, to go to her city, to be together, and she seemed to respond. Everything was going well, but one detail had caught my attention and I found it curious. She had never talked about spicy sleep with me, sent a sensual photo, or anything like that in more than 6 months of conversation.
Now you're gross, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't know this person, this girl. I guess, like, now you're talking or whatever, but, like, I don't know.
What you're describing, good sir, is a skill issue.
That is... Yes.
Or this person just doesn't send that stuff, which plenty of people do that. But you can't just be like, it's weird. She just, like, never sent me anything spicy. It's like...
Yeah.
It takes two to tango, boss.
Two to tango.
This, in a way, was a little frustrating for me. After all, we are adults, and that's something normal in a relationship between an adult man and woman who love each other.
You are weird now. I'm calling you weird. You are weird now.
But I imagined it because she was a shy and reserved person like she always said she was, and I understood fine. Until out of nowhere, things started to get weird. First one day when she had traveled with her family to a neighboring city where her family had a house, she sent me a photo of a glass of wine to surprise me and see my reaction, as she had always said that she didn't drink. I thought it was strange for her to do that since she didn't drink, and it made me jealous. Wait, why? What?
Okay. Like I said, weird.
Yeah. After all, there were several men there next to her. It was a street party. She laughed and said that she was just trying it and that she liked it, but wasn't going to start drinking.
Buddy, I'm sorry. No,
no.
Keep going.
Soon after, she said that a girl who was there... What? Soon after, she said that a girl who was there and said that...
No, soon after she said that.
Oh. Soon after she said that, a girl who was there said that wine made a person excited.
Hey, so I'm going to have you zoom all the way out, buddy. This girl you've never met face to face, drinking wine around other men that you also have no idea about, that makes you jealous. You're not ready for a relationship.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Why? This is, just meet. I would rather just, like, meet and not go through all
Go
this.
meet someone at the library. Go fall in love at the library.
Shh. That's what they do at the library. Shh. I can't really get my finger up here. This thing's in the way.
Intrusive thoughts. Oh.
Anyway. Wine made a person excited. I quickly realized that she was trying to make me jealous since the photo showed that there were men near her.
Yeah, honestly, I yawn as well. You know what's really boring? Jealous and insecure people.
Yeah.
Boring! Honk shoe!
Honk shoe! I quickly realized that she was trying to make me jealous since the photo showed that there were men near her, and she knew that I would be uncomfortable. All said and done. She posted a photo in front of the mirror in her room wearing a super sensual bikini on her profile, looking like she wanted to show off her body and get validation of how hot she was. This frustrated me because it was a photo for all her contacts to see, and the photo was really, really, really very flashy and exaggerated. She posted an old #Throwback Thursday photo that was her at a party with friends, and in that photo, she was wearing a very short dress that you could almost see her panties, whereas the other girls in the photo were wearing a normal dress.
Brother, I don't like where this is going.
What else?
I don't think you need a girlfriend right now. I think you need to actually read a book.
Yeah.
In the library. Go to the library and just read. Don't look for a girlfriend. Just read.
Shh. Also, what else could you nitpick? I mean, it's just like, she's posting pictures, and her dress is shorter than all the other women.
He's just looking for an Amish trad wife. That's what he's looking for. He's looking for ankle-length skirts, and she needs to know how to churn butter.
Honestly, hot. Anyway, this scared me at the time, and I ended up combining this photo with the one...
What?
With the one with the... Okay, wait. This scared me at the time, and I ended up combining this photo with the one with the sensual bikini, and I realized that, in fact, she wasn't anything modest. She liked to show off her body with sexy clothes and bikinis, and I started to think that I was acting like a fool since she had never been spicy related with me, but she didn't see a problem with sexualizing herself to other people. What? All because she like posts literally that's every girl online. They post pictures. That's what we do. And you can either look at, the outfit, you can look at the face, you can look at, it's just like I don't know, you're just finding a reason to like be like, oh, she likes to show off her body. Yeah, she should. She's hot.
I said it once, I'll say it again. Brother, you're not ready.
Yeah.
Get back in the practice arena.
Get in that cage. Get back in your cage.
Oh, no. I have to go again.
No.
No, just go.
She always talked a lot about her family. She was jealous of her parents and her brother and always wanted to be the center of attention. Once she said that her uncle bought chocolate for all her cousins, but he had forgotten to buy it for her, and she spent 2 hours complaining, saying how hurt she was by her uncle and that she felt very sad. A few days later, she said that they had understood each other and that he had apologized to her.
I love that story.
Yeah, what? Great. She liked to punish me coldly, and when something didn't go the way she wanted, everything had to be her way. She was also jealous of my female friendships, but she always had a lot of male friends, and I never said anything. She got a new job, and everything started to be about her. She started to act in an egocentric way at that time, talking all the time about how happy she was in this new job, how people had praised her appearance there, the plans she had with the money she was going to earn there, which included buying cosmetics, supplements, joining the gym, and blah, blah, blah. I feel like that's not... When you have a new job, you want to talk about it. I don't know.
And this is about his ex?
No.
Right? No?
This is... did they mention an ex?
Yeah, his ex had BPD.
Oh.
Because
no,
what?
this-
Have they met up yet?
No. This is still the woman that, like, he's never met but in a relationship for 6 months. And they don't share spicy photos.
And now he's like, oh, she's like talking about stuff. Oh, she's talking about her life and how she's happy. Ugh.
Yeah, she like got a new job and I hate hearing about it.
God, dude, I'm so over you.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. I tried to be attentive and show support, but I started to realize that she really wanted to monopolize the conversation by talking only about herself and would never stop talking about these things about her. She no longer asked anything about me or talked about our relationship. It became all about her. When she was already in this job, she started to become hyper-focused on buying clothes, especially gym clothes. Then she started sending me several photos of sexy clothes, asking my opinion. Again, seeming like she was sending photos of exaggeratedly short clothes on purpose to make me jealous. Like, okay, you tell her to send well, you don't even tell her to send photos, but you want photos, then she gives you the photos, you're like, who else are you sending those to?
This guy's hopeless.
Like,
this guy's hopeless.
It seems like, catch-22 here.
No, he's hopeless.
And then one day, she sent a Jim. Who's Jim? And then one day, she sent a photo of gym shorts that were so tight that the models... Can I say vagina or is that...
I don't know. That the...
Vajay.
Vajay, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
And then one day, she sent a photo of gym shorts that were so tight that the model's vajayjay in the photo was showing. Okay. I showed...
Hey, you're freaking weird, dude. You're weird.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. Weird.
I showed her jealousy, and she pretended to be jealous that I had noticed that I was marking a vajayjay of the model in the photo. She had certainly noticed it too and sent the photo to leave. Yeah, and sent the photo to leave in my subconscious that she would be the one with her vajayjay marked when she wore the shorts. I mean...
Honestly, I hate you, bro. Stop talking to people. Stop talking to everyone. Talk to no one. Get in the pit. Get in the pit. You belong in the pit, little pit person. Get in the pit.
Not the pit. She started making jokes, mocking my appearance. I took it as a joke, but over time I started to get upset because she got worse to the point where it seemed like she was really trying to humiliate me and put me down.
God, both of you stop talking to people forever.
Then there was a day when I got angry and complained to her. She played the victim, saying she was just joking, and she was very hurt that I thought she was doing this to humiliate me because, according to her, she would never do that. But at no point did she apologize to me. She made the situation about her and how hurt she was that I accused her of wanting to put me down. A while later, she was increasingly colder towards me, and I decided to distance myself from her. We stopped talking, but a month and a half later, she came to me again saying that she had dreamed of me and, first of all, dreamt. saying that she had dreamt of me and that she received a warning in the dream that I could be in danger, and that's why she decided to warn me. Then
Okay. Well, keep going.
Then she started talking to me, and because I still liked her, I accepted the approach, and we ended up talking again.
Why do you still like her? Everything you've said leads me to believe you kind of despise her.
Yeah, it seems like you're kind of jealous of her for just liking her.
I have a theory. You're desperate.
That's
That's never a good vibe.
Yeah. But then a few days later, I see her tagging her personal trainer in a TikTok meme, and I questioned her. I already knew that she had joined the gym, but I didn't know that she was training with a male personal trainer, and in that, she said that she had hired a male personal trainer, but that he was married and had never hit on her. By the way, we will hit on you. If you come over and listen to these episodes, full episodes just like this, go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime.
Do it.
There's a little bit more, but you got anything?
Get off the dating apps. Better yourself. You're not ready for this, dog. You are not ready for this, big dog.
Yeah.
And you know what? I may be a little harsh on you right now, but it's because you're acting like a weirdo, okay? So, big dog, you got some big changes to make.
Yeah, it's just, it reeks of desperation and of, like, low self-esteem and just wanting to, like,
it's control.
Complain. Yeah,
it's like
about something
you're talking about all this stuff where it's like, oh, and she does this, and she sent that because this, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, hey, I have an idea. Stop talking to this girl you've never spent a single second with in the same room like before. It's okay. You can just stop talking to her.
Yeah, that's the good thing about long distance is that you're not really together, so you can just be like, hey, I don't really like this anymore. Peace. But instead, you're choosing to just stick with her and then complain about it.
You got weird juju, man.
Yeah. All right, let's see what the update is. But she was tagging the guy in memes as if they were very intimate. Oh my!
Whatever, dude. Let's get out of here.
Which even made me suspicious as to whether he really was married, since if it was probably the guy's wife, would he feel comfortable with a student acting like she was so close and friends with him, tagging him in memes? For me, it ended up being the last straw, and I decided to walk away since I didn't feel comfortable in this relationship. And I felt like I wasn't a priority for her, and it wouldn't work. A month has already passed, and I still think about her a lot. Sometimes I miss her, sometimes I brood and feel angry about the way she treated me, and sometimes I think that maybe it's my fault for the way I handled things. That I could have acted differently, and things could have been different.
We're on maybe the right track. Hey, but not the right lens to be looking through. I think you need to be more focused on why did I want to maintain a long distance relationship with this girl? What do I want out of a relationship? Like, come on, man. Being like she hasn't sent me any spicy weird. Being weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
And again, you've never met her in person. At least you never said you did. So we're just assuming that all of this has just been like long distance over the phone, whatever. Like, did you even make, I don't know. I guess they talked about like he was excited to see her or whatever. But like, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I do know. You know what I do know?
What?
That's the end of this story.
Okay.
And we're done talking about that guy. We got another story coming up right now. My boyfriend gave me zero effort even after I flew across the country for him.
Then you should give him damn it.
Do it. Do it again.
Oh. Then you should slap him. Wait, what is it again? My boyfriend.
Let's just take it from the top.
Yeah.
My boyfriend gave me zero effort even after I flew across the country for him.
Then give him 0 kisses.
My boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years now. We have a healthy relationship and we communicate a lot. However, a massive issue for us is the fact that we are long distance. We've been periodically making an effort to see each other at least once a month for the past 2 years. But now that he has gone away to uni, we cannot exactly do that anymore. By the way, this comes from user CheesyBreadsticks11. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
And I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice goofily. But we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so tell us what you would do in the comments. As OP says, I have kind of felt this way even before he went away to uni, because when we see each other, I want to make the most of our time together by going out, experiencing new things together, and being intimate. However, my boyfriend has no get up and go about him. My boyfriend is happy just sitting on the sofa all day, napping and watching TV or anime together and cuddling up. You see, I wouldn't mind that if we lived close together, but because our time together when we get the chance is so finite, I want to make the most of it. It makes sense to do that at my house every once in a while because I live in the countryside and the town near me doesn't have much in the way of sightseeing. But he lives in London, where there are loads of things to see and do, things he has not experienced, and yet I feel it is a chore to get him out of the house and do stuff with me. Whenever I stay at his place, I'm always the one waking up at a reasonable time, getting ready for the day, and having breakfast before 10:30. But then when he gets up and ready, it takes an hour and a half, and because he wakes up late, by the time he is dressed and washed, noon has already gone by, and most of our day has been wasted. No joke, this one time while I was at his place, I specifically requested that we go on a walk to the local cemetery and take some pictures. And he said, okay, but then proceeded to have a 2 to 3 hour nap. By the time we got out of the house, it was 5 p.m. and it began to rain, so we just gave up and went back home. During that nap he took, I had time to watch a movie, do some of my homework, and work on a chapter in a novel I'm writing. I think it's crazy that you're there to visit and he's napping.
Yeah, and he's just like not visiting. I don't know. I had a man like that once who, like, we did it in college, and then, like, obviously, like, summer happened, and then we wouldn't really see each other, and so, like, I would go there, but then, like, he was also, like, in medical school, so he was, like, studying, and then, like, he would want to go play video games with his friends, and then, like, I would just, like, sit there. Well, yeah, literally, he played a game, like, a whole match with his friends, which takes, like, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I was just sitting in his bed, like, I guess I'll just wait.
Yeah, just sitting there like, why am I here exactly?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we're doing.
Some guys just don't have that initiative to them.
It's true. The worst part was that this was my last full day with him before going home for that month. This kind of thing has happened a noticeable amount of times now, especially when I go to stay over at his place. And then when I do get him out of the house, it feels like I'm forcing him to. I brought this up with him, and granted, at the time, it was because he had an ingrown toenail and was feeling sleepy or whatever.
What?
Not a reasonable excuse.
I am not gonna get up before noon because my ingrown toenail is telling me no.
I mean, those hurt, but for God's sakes, your girlfriend's in town.
Yeah, suck your toenail up.
So whatever, suck those toes.
Suck your toenail and get up.
So he did not have the energy to be enthusiastic, which is fair enough. But the thing is, when we're going out to do something he likes, like seeing a war museum, he is enthusiastic and constantly info dumping onto me. He's one of those nerdy autistic types that loves military stuff.
What? I didn't know that was a category.
It's a spectrum. In this one instance, my mom booked us 2 tickets to see Spirited Away at the theater for my birthday. The reason she did this is because I saw the ad for it and looked into it myself because my boyfriend really likes Studio Ghibli and I liked theater, so I thought it would be a great opportunity to bond. But when I looked at the tickets, it would be like $200 to $300 for the both of us to go?
Oh, what theater is this?
Whoa, yeah, what?
We just went and it was like $20.
Theaters in London must be crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, are they playing it on like a crystal screen?
Yeah,
what?
who knows? Is it beamed directly into your brain and you get to keep it forever? Like, I don't understand. That's a bill that would make your wig go flying. Yeah. And my mother, bless her heart, saw this and decided to pay for it instead.
Aw, nice.
So I told my boyfriend the news, expecting him to be excited because he loves Studio Ghibli and, in fact, wants to get into the animation industry to be like the creator of the studio. And yet he could not be less enthusiastic for the simple fact that it was a theater and it meant going out into the city instead of staying in the comfort of his or my home. I mean, he ended up enjoying the show, but it's the principle. I agree. This is like an attitude that you should develop by the time you're like in your 50s. Like, I don't want to go. I just want to be home. Whatever. You're like young. You're with your girlfriend. She surprised you with this, and you like can't be like excited to go out just because you have to go somewhere. That's whack, bro.
Yeah, that also is just like really demeaning, like to her, because it's like she's trying every single way to try to get you to like get up, like literally like getting tickets to like things that you like in hopes that you would like show some appreciation, some enthusiasm, you know, as to like, oh, this is fun, thank you, like, oh my gosh, yeah, let's go do this, like it's our last night or whatever. But instead she's met with just like, well, I wish like we could have just watched it at home, but like that's fine. Like,
yeah,
I
and then
don't
he was
know.
enthusiastic later, but it's like, yeah, again, it's the principle. I think you might need to start looking to invest in a different boyfriend.
I agree.
I'm not gonna lie. The final thing that ticks me off was the summer holiday of this year. Both of us acknowledged that this would be the prime time to bond because it would be the last time we got to see each other until he went to uni. So he and his parents, months before, said they would take me to Italy with them for the summer holiday so I could meet the rest of his family. His family are all Italians. I was like, bet, and got super hyped for this upcoming trip. But then his granddad fell ill and they went on their own without me, which that was fair enough. But get this. I asked my boyfriend how long he would be away for, and first he said a week, and then it was 2 weeks. And then the next thing I knew, it was pretty much a full month he ended up staying there. So my holiday ended up being pretty bad because I was stuck at home, which, you know, is a sick relative. Like, you never, you know, it's
Yeah, it's
things might change day to day with those decisions. So
yeah, but I would also like OP. I would definitely be still like sad and disappointed,
Yeah.
obviously, because I'd be like, ugh, dang it, I wanted to spend it with him, but you know things happen, and I'm just like, ugh, dang it.
yeah, my mom was away the whole time because she works at sea. Okay. My whole dad's side was away abroad, so I couldn't see them. And on top of that, my stepdad developed medical issues for the entire 6-week period, so we couldn't do anything together. So when my boyfriend came back from Italy on the final week, I thought we could finally see each other again just before he buggers off to uni. He said, sorry, darling, I want to stay at home for this week so that my dad and I can sort out my uni stuff together, like packing and buying things. For context, he had to actually go to uni on the 14th of September, but I had to return the 6th from on the 3rd, I think it was, and he was thinking of coming around that time I would have been going to college. So I told him no. I want him over on the last week of my summer holiday instead, because he had plenty of time after to sort out his uni stuff. Otherwise, I would be in college at the same time as he was over. Begrudgingly, he said okay and came over. I don't know if he was deliberately guilt-tripping me, but after he came over, he was saying stuff like the reason he wanted to sort his uni stuff that week was because that was the last week his dad had off before he had to go back to work, and he wanted to make the most of his time with him and properly sort out his stuff. Things like that. And then he roped in how his now deceased grandpa, and then he roped his now deceased grandpa into it, and then the fact that he apparently does not have enough kitchen equipment for uni now or whatever. Those were wildly swinging like levels of importance on those two things.
Yeah, also, I just like, I don't, it's like, does he like you? Does he want to see you? Because it seems like he just has so many other things to worry about, even though like, but you're giving him all this attention and everything, but you're not receiving anything. And that's I hate that feeling. I hate it.
Yeah, I think you guys might need to cut your losses here. I think what's going on is you guys are both going to school, different schools. You're moving on to a new chapter of your life, and I think it might be best if you guys both just kind of let go of this. It's not working. He's not enthusiastic about it. You deserve to have a partner who's enthusiastic about you. I think you'll have plenty of good opportunities to find someone you'll enjoy spending your time with while you're in uni. I don't know. It just seems really off to me, and since then, his text messages are just dry. I mean, they were getting dry before, but I thought I would bring it up. Imagine that moment in Kitchen Nightmares when Gordon Ramsay eats that dry pork chop and nods. That is my reaction to how his messages are to me.
I need to see
That's
that
a
now.
niche reference. Don't get me wrong, he's a lovely person and really sweet, and I get that he's really busy and stressed at the moment, but this makes me want to sink further into my delusions of fangirling over fictional characters and thinking that I'm in a relationship with said fictional characters. That came out of nowhere.
What?
I think you should fangirl about being in a new relationship with a different non-fictional character.
So let me get this straight. So if you're not with him, you have to be with a fictional character.
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
is that fictional character, does it happen to be Danny Phantom? Because I love myself some Danny Phantom.
A nice slice of, hey, he's a minor.
Not anymore. He shouldn't be.
Nah, he's grown up now. Okay. I genuinely have to remind myself that he's my boyfriend and not just some best friend that I sometimes get too spicy with. And by the way, you can all the time listen to full episodes with stories just like this on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime, and you've got a whole boatload.
Like a sushi boat.
Doo, doo. That's the sound of the boat. It's full of stories.
Big boat. Like Titanic, big boat, cruise ship.
A nice big cruise ship. That's where OP's mom works, on the cruise ship out at sea.
Wah, wah, we all brought it back.
Okay, we've got a little more story. Speaking of which, he never wants to get spicy with me anymore whenever we are together. He said it's because of his insecurities about his body and the fact that he just does not have the energy for it, and I get that. You don't got the energy for spice, and you're like 20?
Yeah, this guy, it just seems like he's just slowly fading away.
I just
but
think
he
he's
just
not-
doesn't
yeah.
want to like be the bad guy about it, and I hate
Exactly.
that.
A lot of people make that choice. Just like, I'm just going to quit the relationship and wait for the other person to get sick of it.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. It's
Yeah.
so exhausting.
Very exhausting. But on the odd occasion that we do it these days, I feel that I barely get anything out of it because he is done after 2 minutes, and then I don't get any attention after. Honestly, at this point, I see no point in taking my birth control pills anymore because I don't get any anyway. I love him and he loves me, but I feel almost checked out of this relationship. And I think that's, I think it's time to check out of the relationship hotel. It doesn't even
Yeah.
have to be anyone's fault. It just might just be what's the right thing to do at this moment, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I've had to do that like a couple different times with guys because they just check out and you don't know like what's going on or why, like they don't communicate it, and so you're just sitting there like wondering like, did I do something? Like maybe it's because I said this or I did this
Yeah.
the one time or whatever. Like you just go and question yourself. But
Yeah.
honestly, OP, it doesn't seem like you really have done anything of importance that like could make him feel, negatively towards you. So I feel like this is like a him issue, and he needs to get his crap together because like obviously it's affecting both of you at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like you can just at this point rip the Band-Aid off, be like, listen, I'm not getting anything out of it, and I'm sure like you're not getting anything out of it.
Yeah.
So why are we doing this? You
So
know?
let's wish each other the best and be on our way.
Yeah, we're not enjoying it. We're not happy. We're just kind of like,
Yeah.
hope this gets better.
And to be clear, if it is anyone's fault, it would be more his.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I think it might be just a blessing in disguise that this is going to, maybe end, and then you go to uni, and then new chapter. Don't have to look in the past. Moving forward.
True.
Which is what we're going to do, because that was the end of that story and the end of this episode. So if you love us, make sure you subscribe.
And we love you.
And
See you
you
tomorrow.
tomorrow.